what this world is coming to.
Hey yo, check this out. This is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another great edition of the Dante's Boxing Nation Show. I am your host, Dante, and we got another great show for you guys, as always. First things first, let me go ahead and introduce the panel as we always do. I got my co-host in the building with me, my man Big Milt. What's going on, Milt?
What's good, Dante?
All right, and on the phone lines, as always, the DBM panel, my man AK, A-Rap King. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, man. Show him some love. And I also got my man, former boxer and boxing writer, my man Kirk Jackson from BoxingInsider.com. And we also got a new producer in the studio, my girl DJ Star. What's going on, DJ Star? She getting her mic ready. Hey, everyone. All right, that's what it is. So, she gonna be monitoring everything, checking some of the comments every now and then, and blocking everybody if we need to. Forget about what Broner said. We still blocking cats, and we're gonna be talking a whole lot about AB, man. But on some real, man, Cincinnati, Team Broner, Team Granados showed me tremendous love, man, and we're gonna get into all of that, man. We're gonna talk about this Broner fight. We're gonna talk about the Broner DBM beef. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about all that. But on some real talk, the video I put up, was just straight clickbait. I didn't get kicked out of no gym. I didn't get kicked out of no gym. And I tell you one thing, I will definitely leave before anybody try to kick me out. But let's go ahead and get into this, man. We got a whole lot to talk about, man. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Also, you know what? Let me go ahead and show love to my sponsors, man. The Box Fan Expo, man. The Box Fan Expo is going to be May 6th on the weekend.
Major.
Yep. It's gonna be nice, man. Matter of fact, we're gonna be doing a live show there. Milt gonna be there.
Oh, for sure.
We're gonna do a live show right at the Box Fan Expo. All your favorite boxers are gonna be there signing autographs, taking pictures. It's an event you don't want to miss.
Can't miss
Once again, it's on the weekend of Chavez, or I should say Canelo versus Chavez. Maybe we could call it a rematch, Chavez versus Canelo. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So tune in, check out Box Fan Expo. I'll have all the information in the description box, so you guys could check that out, or you could just go to boxfanexpo.com. And another thing too, man, I got some sponsors that I'm gonna be working with outside of Box Fan Expo starting next month. If you guys want to promote, whatever you're selling, your website, whatever it is, you're trying to sell and you're trying to build your brand, go ahead and hit me up at Dante's Boxing Nation at Gmail. And, we could work out a deal and we could advertise that product right here on Dante's Boxing Nation Radio. All right. So that's pretty much what it is, man. Let's get into it, Milt. Let's get into it, Milt.
Man. Let's do it.
All right, Milt. So Milt, the first thing I want to ask you, man, is what did you think about Adrien Broner's performance, man? And do you think he ready for them hyenas at 147, man?
Let me tell you. The performance spoke for itself. I'll get into the second part first. As far as 147, no. He's not ready for it at 147. I'm suspecting that his people are going to do the right thing by him and have him come back down to 140. I don't know how hard it is or how difficult it is for him to make that 140, but I think if he dedicates himself as he says he's going to do, he says all the BS and all the bullshit is to the side, and that he's going to concentrate and focus, and we're going to see a focused Adrien Broner in the future. Yeah. So if that's the case and he gets back down to 140, he can do well for himself. But let me tell you, what I saw in that fight against Granados, and then this is the thing, man. A lot of people trying to diminish Granados, but this cat knocked off one of the hottest prospects in boxing.
He sure did.
He knocked off Amir Imam,
and
I'm here to tell you, man, that's a feather in that man's cap. And then he came in here and fought Broner like that wasn't a fluke. So I give that man credit. Stop trying to take away, shine from that man. That man went in there and fought hard. But with Broner at 147, I do not think he's ready. I think that the layoff, he was off. It was a little bit of ring rust on him. I try to get a young man the benefit of the doubt because I have seen him at his best, and the young man has skill. He does have skill. However, in this fight, he looked rusty. The footwork wasn't there, in my opinion. I usually see him fighting better off that back foot. I just didn't see that. I didn't see, and the guy swarmed it. You know, he starts a little bit slow. Mm-hmm. He allowed Granados to pick up some momentum in the first couple rounds.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard for him to kind of find a groove. Dude kept keeping him off balance, but I've seen him counter better. I've seen him move better.
I agree. I totally agree.
I don't know what it was, but it just was not his full total package on that fight night. He grinded it out. He got the W. Could have gone either way. If they'd have called it a draw, I wouldn't have been mad with that. If they had called it for Granados, there was some people still thinking that Granados won that fight, but I think Broner pulled it out. But
yeah,
147, I don't think he's ready.
Yeah, I don't either, man. AK, man, assess his performance.
Yeah, it was a very close fight, man. And Granados, he came in there and did what he had to do. He made an ugly fight. But I didn't know how good he was, man. And apparently he's better than what I thought. But something, that Adrien Broner could have did is because, see, his opponent, he kept coming, and to try to make it an ugly fight. Every time they create some distance, he will, rush in. So Adrien Broner could have stepped back and tried to counter him.
Yeah.
Or he could have, made he could have slid into the right, started into the left, and create an angle and counter his opponent coming in. Because it was there for him all night.
It was there for him all night.
He didn't have to search for his opponent.
Nope.
He kept coming for him. So all he had to do was just step back and create an opening and counter him. But he didn't do that, which, Adrien Broner doesn't use his feet like that anyway. Mm-hmm. And, he said he hurt his hand, but one thing I was very impressed that, he wasn't able to hurt his opponent all night. His opponent had a great chin. Yeah. He was able to, because Adrien Broner, I know he's not a welterweight, but he dropped Sean Porter with a left hook. He hurt Maidana, so it's not like he has no power at 147. And plus his opponent is a 140-pounder. And but at the end of the day, he needs to stay away from them 140-pounders because who can he really compete against at 147? It's a very packed division. I think 140 is better off. Other than Crawford is there, obviously, and even the Cuban fighter. I forgot his name. I always forget his name.
The Cuban, Rancis Barthélemy. You talking about at 140? Yeah. That's a beast. That boy is a beast.
Beautiful.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
he boxes beautifully, man. He's beautiful.
So, and he's without Heyman too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Adrien Broner.
I don't know. Is he without Heyman?
I think he is. I've seen him on PBC.
He is without. Yeah, he's with PBC. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So them two fights, kind of like the only two fights that are very dangerous for Broner at 140. But other than that, all the other 140 pounders there, I think he could, beat the other 140 pounders. But 147 should be a no Adrien Broner zone right there.
Yeah. Hey, Kirk, I have to agree, man. And I think, honestly, even Adrien Broner, he understands how difficult it is. Matter of fact, he said at the press conference, he said everybody, what'd he say? He said everybody afraid of Donald Trump. But it's the welterweights you need to be worried about because there's some monsters up there. And I put that video up, so that video is up. That's like one of the last videos I uploaded, him saying that. But I totally agree with him, man. That's a scary damn division, man.
Is.
Thurman versus Garcia, Spence versus Kell Brook. After the smoke settles, man, it's going to be hard to not put one of them cats in the top 3 pound for pound. If they all face off against each other.
Yes.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, before I let Kirk talk, I would say that I didn't think that, to me it was a little bit of a regression from the Broner versus Ashley Theophane performance.
It was.
Because I thought, he elevated his status, he looked more complete in that, but styles make fights. Like AK just said, and like I said in my post-fight video, I didn't like the fact that Broner he was allowing Granados to smother his work.
Yes.
And Broner wasn't adjusting to him trying to smother his work. You know, Gervonta Tank Davis is a prime example. He fought a guy, it was a guy from Mexico. I forget his name, but the guy was leading in, you know, he was leading in with his head the whole night, and he was trying to do the same thing Granados was doing.
Bully.
He was trying to bully, smother, you know, to take full extension off of them power shots.
Right.
And he was doing that with Tank Davis for a couple rounds. Then all of a sudden, I said, man, all Tank needs to do is throw an uppercut. But it was how he set it up. Tank Davis, he took a quick step back and threw the uppercut.
Yes.
He timed him leaning in with his head, took a step back, threw the right uppercut, and it was a wrap. From that point on, you know, he knocked him down.
Was it Tyson did that to Buster Mathis? You remember?
Tyson pivoted over to the left, though.
Yeah, he pivoted to the left.
He pivoted over to the left. But it's still, it's still an
angle.
adjustment.
It's still an adjustment. Right.
And we didn't see that with Adrien Broner. I don't think
I never saw that.
Adrien Broner, you know, obviously he makes it clear he looks up to his big brother Floyd Mayweather, but he's not as comfortable as Floyd is on the inside. You know, Floyd always says, you know, you bang the boxer, you box the banger. And, you know, when Granados was boxing in the first 3 rounds, Granados was looking good,
He looked real good.
It looked like he was about to surprisingly outbox Broner the whole fight.
It really did.
Until that headbutt occurred, and then his nose started leaking, and then it looked like he kind of panicked a little bit. Then he started fighting wild, and that's when the fight got close.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
The Granados, man, that kid really impressed me. Because the thing was, you know, I kind of thought that he caught Imam slipping, and Imam underestimated him, and he took advantage of his situation. But I would say this: that cat does not shy away from contact. He does not shy away from a challenge. He stepped up, and he didn't fold. I thought that he was going to fold under the pressure of this big fight, big televised fight. There was a lot of hype going into it, and I thought he was going to fold. But I will say that cat really represented himself well, and that was not a fluke against Imam.
Absolutely. And shout out to my man, Coach Sheldon. Go ahead and subscribe to Coach Sheldon's YouTube channel. Another one of the rare cats out there speaking the truth. He's one of the moderators, so you know, he holding it down in the chat room right now. You know, getting rid of the white supremacists and all the. Well, I shouldn't even say white supremacists. I should say supremacists of the white supremacists, if you know what I mean. You know, but anyway, shouts out to him. You know, all the monkey chat, all the monkey comments and all that, he be taking care of that. So shouts out to my man, Coach Sheldon. My man, Kirk, man, go ahead and rate Broner's performance, man. Should he stay at 147 or what?
He should go back down to 140. And, you know, with the show last week, you know, I predicted Granados was going to win. And he came very close. I mean, it was a split decision. And I want to give you credit, Dante. I believe you interviewed him, and your interview with him, he talked about his amateur experience and how he was a Mexican alternate for the Olympic team.
Yeah,
And he kind of just dwelled into his experience and was talking about why he is in contention in this fight. And as we saw this past Saturday, he showed why. You know, he knows Adrien Broner very well because they're sparring partners,
right,
obviously, and they're from relatively the same area. But yeah, Broner, he does not look like he can handle himself at 147. I mean, we saw that against Madonna. We saw it against Sean Porter. This, again, was evidence tonight. He has punching power, but not enough to really keep guys off him. And I believe he also mentioned he would fight at 154. He definitely should not do that.
God,
I think he should stop.
No, that would
And
be a
then
huge mistake.
Granados was catching him with nice right hands repeatedly. I mean, I was shocked how clean he was getting caught by them right hands. And I was like, man, I mean, imagine if he was fighting like a Keith Thurman and Keith Thurman was catching him with them right hands. It'd be lights out. I mean,
right hand lead, too.
Yeah. You got to, like, Adrien Broner, I mean, at 147, he could make 140. You know what I mean? Like, I seen him like a month ago, like on an interview, he was eating nachos and this and that. You know,
I saw that too. Yeah, I did see
that.
Like, I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm like, how is this guy preparing for a fight and eating nachos? Like, and then it blamed on the flu, which I doubt it's the flu. I know for a fact it's because he wasn't on his diet. I mean, if Adrien Broner don't blow up after the fight as far as weight, and then during the training camp, he stay eating healthy stuff and You know what I mean? And
But
stay
bro, he
disciplined.
looked real
I
sick
think he
though.
could make 140 no problem. You know what I mean? Because he came from 130 pounds. But it's the fact that he can't stay disciplined. That's why he has to fight 140, which is gonna hurt him in the long run. Because once you know all the top fighters at 147 are top dogs. I mean, if you look at the PPC, you got we already know Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia, Errol Spence versus Kell Brook. Now on the top ranked stable, they trying to make Adrien Broner versus Manny Pacquiao. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Bradley versus Lamont Pearson. So and then you know, I mean, it's kind of like the top ranked side ain't all that right now, but it's still kind of like even a tough fight. Pacquiao's I will favor Pacquiao versus Adrien Broner, but you know what? Pacquiao should take that fight.
I think
he will. At what weight?
That he will fight Adrien Broner next.
At what weight, though?
The fact that
That's a good question too.
147.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to fight 147.
Yeah, I mean,
I see that being a catch weight. I do not see
Broner
Broner going in there.
Weight, but I'm saying if Manny Pacquiao is smart and he want to make top dollars for the lowest risk, he should hunt for Adrien Broner because it's a bigger fight than the Crawford fight, and it's a winnable fight. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's the. I mean, if you listen to what Adrien Broner is saying, he's saying, you know, now they talking right.
You're right.
He said, I like what they offering me now. So that sounds like that's most likely going to happen because we know, you know, after Pacquiao, if he fights Jeff Horn, we know he ain't going to fight Terrence Crawford, even though Freddie Roach said we may have to mess with that boy eventually. They're going to do whatever they can to, you know, to go around that because they obviously know they have a better chance against Adrien Broner than a Terrence Crawford. But there's no doubt about it, man. Can you imagine the buildup for a Pacquiao versus Broner fight?
My God,
that
man.
would be huge,
That would
man.
be huge.
So, I mean, just the buildup alone, you know, it would make the fight worth it. I mean, you know, it's not. I still prefer Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford. But you know, if he ain't gonna fight Terrence Crawford, you know, I'll take a Broner Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
And just want to let
that Horn fight is not official.
What's up?
Do you guys think? Or do you guys think that Manny Pacquiao's team will try and lure Floyd Mayweather back into a fight if they're able to secure a fight against Broner and beat him?
Oh, no doubt about it. That's. I think that's the plan. I think, you know, the fact that builds up a rematch. Obviously, you beat little brother. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd Mayweather is there watching. If Pacquiao was able to beat little brother Broner, you know, and Floyd is there watching, can you imagine? That's some WWE build-up type stuff right there. You know?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather already beat him, so it's kind of like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
That's true.
I got the feeling. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't think is the Jeff Horn fight official because Manny Pacquiao, like you said last week, he tweeted that he would like for his fans to pick his next fight. Pacquiao, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, Jeff Horn. So is the fight official?
Well, I didn't see it on BoxRec. They took it off, I believe.
Took what off?
Because you know initially they had the Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn fight on BoxRec.
Yeah. So that's not official. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't see it there anymore, so I don't think so. I don't think it's official.
Yeah.
And then when I was looking at like upcoming fights for March, April, May, I didn't see the
I saw it for April. I thought I saw it for April.
You guys talking about the Jeff Horn? I got a little distracted. You guys talking about the Jeff Horn fight?
Yeah.
It's not. They haven't announced it. It hasn't officially been announced yet.
Okay.
Because you know they're gonna make it a big announcement when it when it's announced. So that's why I haven't made a video talking about it as being official yet. I still think they may still be looking at other opponents for the last minute. But and everybody everybody that's on hold right now on the phone lines, we're gonna go ahead and get to you guys in a minute. All right. So I appreciate everybody on hold right now. So, but that's pretty much what that is. But you know what? Before we go on, man, let me go ahead and elaborate and talk about this this Adrien Broner situation, since everybody want to get my take. The first thing I want to say, man, is being from Fight Hype, he recorded it. His camera actually broke that day, and he was recording on his phone, and his phone kept shutting off in the middle of him recording. So first of all, you guys didn't even get to hear everything that I was saying, and you could barely hear what I was saying. And his video, which I put on my channel as well, it was cut up, so you didn't even hear the whole altercation. You didn't hear everything that I had to say. So let me go ahead and explain what happened from the beginning. So basically we got to the gym, we covering everything, all the fighters come in or whatnot. Now, Adrien Broner, when he got there, he sat down like all the other fighters did, and we all was about to start asking him questions. Everybody was ready to interview him. I asked him the first question. Now, before I asked him the question, he seen that I was there. He gave me dap. What's up, man? I said, what's up? He sat down. I asked him a question. Once I asked him the question, I think I asked him, what did I ask him? I think I asked him, I said, do you think that, Granados' style, with him coming forward, you think his style is kind of tailor-made for you to put on a great performance? And he thought for a minute like he was going to answer it, and he was like, with that being said, let's go ahead and go to the media workout, right? So he did that right there. When he did that, now me, I'm the type of person where I'm like, okay, if you're going to do that, I'm not going to ask you no more questions for the rest of the day.
Right.
So that's what I said to myself. I'm not going to answer any more questions from this point. I'm just going to go ahead and cover, record everything. So then when he came back and, he started to do his media workout, we was all surrounding him, getting ready for his media workout. And this is when he started showing me love on my channel and everything. And he was like, hey, that's you. And this video is up too. He was like, talking about my intros. And he said, I'll be watching you, man. I'll be watching you. You got them long ass intros and et cetera, et cetera. He was like, yeah, man. But Dante, man, he got everybody saying his name, And once again, this is Adrien Broner's personality. That's his way of showing his love, regardless of if I agree with it or not. That's his personality. So, so then, we move on to him after he did like 12 rounds on the mitts. He goes down and he gets on the bag. Now, as he goes downstairs to go to the heavy bag, this is when I start talking to his trainer. I started talking to his trainer because Mike Stafford, he was he was sweating and everything, and I was just saying, man, so is he where is he at, et cetera, et cetera. We talking. Now Mike Stafford, for whatever reason, I don't remember the exact context, but he started talking about Broner's losses. He was like, some people, I forgot exactly what he said, but the video is up. It's on my channel, the interview. He starts talking about the Porter loss. He started talking about the Maidana loss. And then all of a sudden, this is when you hear Adrien Broner like, hey, if you keep talking about, you keep bringing up Porter questions, I'm gonna put you out the gym. And then I said, I didn't ask about Porter. I didn't even bring it up. And this is why you really need to hear what I'm saying, because it really does no justice, with Ben being on the other side, of me talking, because this is when I started to get a little annoyed, just like Broner was getting annoyed. And I don't think Broner expected me to react the way I did. I think he expected me just to be quiet and not say nothing. But I kept saying it over and over. And I was walking towards Broner, and I said, I didn't bring up Porter. I said, your trainer brought up Porter. Then I started to raise my voice. And you'll see this in the camera. This is when Broner's trainer or his manager, he came over. He said, hey, Dante, just calm down. Just this is his gym. Just, if he don't want you to bring it up. I said, yeah, man, but I didn't bring it up. And I'm saying it loud so Broner can hear me. I said, your trainer brought it up, right? And this is when Broner, you can hear him on the camera. He say, Dante, you okay, man? You okay? Ain't nobody, we gonna make sure don't nothing happen to you. And this is when I said to him, I said, oh, it's all good. I know ain't nothing gonna happen to me. And then everybody laughed in the room.
Yeah, I heard that part.
Yeah, and everybody laughed in the room. And my battery was dying. So this is when I went over to go get another battery. And you can kind of see me walking, off the screen basically. And then this is when Broner, he said, that boy nervous. And when he said that, I said, I ain't never nervous. I said it twice, and then you could once again, you hear the crowd, chuckle again. When I came back over and I started recording, and this is one thing, and I noticed a lot of people didn't hear this, but you go back and watch it, you hear Adrien Broner. Soon as I went back over there, he said, damn, Dante, you was really going to leave? He was like, man, they told me you got an Uber and you was out of here, right? And then right before the video ends, he chimes in again and he says, Dante, man, you my mans, man. You my mans. So he was basically saying, dog, I'm just fucking with you, man. Don't take none of that serious. You know how I get down. That was the interpretation. So that's pretty much how it went down. Now, the first thing I want to say is, once again, like I said at the beginning of the show, shouts out to Ohio, man, in general, because Adrien Broner, Team Broner, they showed me tremendous love the whole time I was there. Yeah. His whole team, the promoters, You know, everybody that was working with Broner, everybody that put together, they showed me all type of love, taking pictures, and they showed me love the whole time. Broner showed me love, constantly dropping my name throughout the whole week. It was all love. Now, you know, if you ask me if I would have done something like that, was it a little immature? You know, him coming at me because he thought I asked a Porter question? Of course it was immature. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that's his personality. And that's how he gets down. You know, so, and it was funny because shouts out to Ellie Setback too, because he was telling me, and this is so funny because I was telling everybody that, you know, the funny thing is, you know, and Ellie is cool, you know, subscribe to his channel as well. But, you know, I was telling people, I ain't know Ellie, you know, so I'm not an old media type person. And it's nothing wrong with operating like old media, but I'm new media. You know, if you say something to me, I'm going to respond right back. And I'm going to keep talking, especially when I know it ain't my fault. Right. Because I thought about it for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even bring up Porter's name. So now I'm feeling real good. It's like when that police officer pull you over and you know you ain't did nothing wrong. And I know I'll be talking shit when I know I ain't did nothing wrong at all, you know. But anyway, you know, Ellie, the reason why I bring Ellie up, because Ellie said to me, he was like, yo, man, you know, you shouldn't say nothing. Just don't say anything. He said, I wouldn't have said nothing. And I said, nah, man, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. You know, you put me on the spot like that, and especially when you wrong, I'm a damn sure say something. So, you know, that's pretty much how it went down. And I just wanted to give my side. Go ahead, AK.
Well, yeah, man, I just want to say I understood the whole situation in the wrong way. I thought he kind of like, you know, tried to disrespect you and stuff, and I was kind of talking mad shit when I made a video. But, you know, I see how it went down. But at the end of the day, I still felt like it was kind of wrong on his part, because even if you ask a Porter question, what's wrong with that? I mean, you got Ali Sanders asking all type of kind of dumb questions. Or what's the color of your shoes? Like, what's wrong with a Porter question?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Raphael. We know he's a racist, and Broner still answered his questions. So it doesn't matter.
That's a good point.
He's supposed to ask these hard questions. He's supposed to answer. You know what I mean? You're giving him shine. You a reporter. You know what I mean? You're promoting his fight. So regardless if you did or you didn't, he's still supposed to answer the questions and not get mad over something like that. You know what I mean? And that's something. And I'm a huge Broner fan. I'm just saying he was wrong for that regardless. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
Yeah, but I think it's the way that video was edited. Like you said, it was certain parts, like at the end when he was like, oh, I thought he meant like, oh, you haven't left yet? You haven't called the Uber or something like that?
No,
you know what I'm saying? And I think that's how a lot of people understood it too. Because I was reading the comment section and people thought that, you know, he was being sarcastic and stuff.
Oh,
you know,
no.
And see, a lot of people do that as well.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the main reasons I wanted to bring it up. Because of the fact that I noticed a lot of people didn't even pay attention. I think because everybody was so focused on what Broner did at the beginning of the video, a lot of people, they weren't focused on what he said at the end of the video. A lot of people, they didn't even hear when Adrien Broner said, damn, Dante, you was really going to leave? You know, he was like, damn, I was just messing with you. You was really going to leave? Because once again, Broner is not, or any guy, not just Broner, but I think a lot of people, they're not used to people reacting that way. You know what I mean? Because like I said, once again, you know, you try to kick me out. If it wasn't for Broner saying earlier, like, oh, Dante okay, y'all, he okay. Because, see, the thing is, and that's the reason why you got to be careful when you mess around like that, especially when you messing with certain people, because the way I was raising my voice, you know, it could have easily, you know, turned into something much worse. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because Broner is used to raising his voice and everybody being quiet, but he ended up raising his voice. I raised my voice. That could have turned into World War III up in that building. You know what I mean? But it didn't, because everybody in that room, including Adrien Broner, had love for me. But I agree with what you're saying, though. You know, you're right. You know, it shouldn't matter what question we ask. You know, if you lose, you lose. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can't erase that from the history books.
Right.
You know, so go ahead, Milt.
You know,
and we gonna get to the phone. We're going to get to the cats I'm on hold in a minute, all right? So Go ahead, Milt.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in just right quick, man, and piggyback on something you said. And it was about the maturity level. At the end of the fight, you know, the last comments out of his mouth, you know, I'm hoping that he lives up to that. He made a statement where he was saying that he wants to, you know, he wanted to apologize. And I take that man at his word. He apologized for his behavior in the past. not living up to a certain standard as a professional, and from this point forward, going forward, he was going to be more professional and he was going to carry himself like a role model. Mm-hmm. Now, I hope he lives up to that, because the thing is, I'll tell you this: I remember watching Floyd when it was leading up to the Pacquiao fight, and the reporter from ESPN was asking him about his domestic violence issues. Of course, it's something rocky in his past. He don't want to discuss it. Floyd took that question, man, rolled it off. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
And just, he was like, hey, that's the past, blah, blah, blah. But I just want to say, hey, I want y'all to come out and support the fight, blah, blah. He just flipped it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if Floyd has, if he just got to a maturity level and he did it on his own, or if he was working with a publicist, or if he was working with some professional people, some professional handlers. I doubt it, but I think that Floyd is just, he had that professionalism in his mind that, hey, this is how I'm going to handle this in the future. You can't keep flying all off the handle with media, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean, you want to put an image out there that is going to sell people on you. And and if you beating up the people who put the story out, then you're not doing yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice. Mm-hmm. And no matter what the question was, well, I won't say no matter what the question was, because you can't come at some people just all crazy.
Yeah,
but it was, if it's pertaining to boxing and it's about a previous fight, hey man, handle that. Man up. Dude got me in the last fight, and we're going to move on from that point. Yeah. But it's all about professionalism, and like I said, I'll take the man at his word that he's going to be more professional in the future.
That's what that is. So, hey, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines. Once again, man, I always appreciate all you guys, patiently waiting. We got a whole bunch of people on hold right now, so let's get into it, y'all. All right, we got 916. What's going on, man?
Dante's box office. What's going on, baby?
We gonna get them shirts. We about to get them shirts next. Yeah.
What's your name? Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, I'm calling from Sacramento, California, man.
What's good?
Adrien Broner, that was some old sucker shit he did, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, man. Hey, speak on it, man. And what's your name? Bro?
Man, my name Marcus, man.
Okay, Marcus.
And I just see it seemed like he was taking subtle jabs at you like all week, bro. Like he said that shit about the box office or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, I watched the video when he's threatening to kick you out. It's like, bro, you know what I mean? He's overrated overall. That's what I think. Like, I've been watching Broner for years since he was first on TV. And I think he lost to Ponce de Leon. Is that his name?
Ponce de Leon, yep. Yeah,
he lost to him, really. Mm-hmm. I think he lost to Granados. He came up short like Lamont Peterson's shorts, I just like, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, Mud Pete had them Get It girls on, didn't he?
But
I just want to call in. The reason I want to call in is to give you your props, bro. I watch your videos every day, man.
Man, I appreciate it.
I wanted to let you know, keep doing your thing. And, I'm glad you brushed it off the way you did. But I'm glad that you said something, too, at the same time. Because I was like, I know my nigga ain't about to go out like that.
Yeah.
So, man.
But once again, that's why, the camera didn't do a whole lot of justice, because you couldn't hear me clearly. You know what I mean? You could only really hear what Broner was saying. But once again, man, the only reason I was even still there is because Broner was saying, oh, Dante, you all right? You all right? You know what I mean? And like I said, once again, he was like, damn, Dante, you was really going to leave? Like, he didn't expect things to kind of get almost out of hand, where, cats are coming over to me like, Dante, calm down, whatever. You know what I mean? But no, I'm not going to sit there and just be quiet and not say nothing and just be recording, and that's the reason why towards the end, I didn't have nothing else to say anymore, because, after all of that shit, I'm not going to be, sitting over here just, on an interview, tip after that, but of course the next day and everything, I went back to work and got back to business. But no, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man.
But basically, Adrien Broner probably was testing his limits with you, Dante.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Because
and he wasn't used. He wasn't used to nobody reacting like me either.
And Adrien Broner probably doesn't know this, but one of his greatest supporters is Dante Boxing Nation. You know what I mean? Like back when he was undefeated.
And you know what?
The hell out of the shit out of his ass. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how long he's been watching your videos. I'm talking about Adrien Broner, but if he's been watching it for, it doesn't matter when he started watching your channel. Actually, you always support him. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It was all love, but I guess, like I said, at the end of the day, he was just trying to test his limits with you to see how far he could go.
Yeah,
because, you know, with the other fighters, they could go. They have no limits when it comes to alley setbacks. So they'll probably try to test you, Dante.
Yeah, and once again, like
you know the part I really don't like, though. You know the part that I really don't like. He was acting like he humble and like he matured himself. You know, he got in trouble with the law. He eating strippers' booties out like groceries and all this type of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, he turned over a new leaf. But that really showed you like his true character, man. Like he ain't changed. Oh, don't worry about it, Dante. Ain't nobody gonna touch you. I want to do the soccer's ass when he said that shit.
No, when he said, don't worry, ain't nobody gonna touch you. I said, I know ain't nobody gonna touch me. You know what I'm saying? But once again, like I said, I don't think he. This is. I mean, I already said it's a level of immaturity. We already know that. You know what I mean? This is the way he play around. You got to remember, this is the same guy who put Floyd Mayweather on blast at the Broner press conference, you know, and basically talked to Mayweather like Mayweather was working for him. Yeah. He was like, damn, Floyd, you need to get your shit together, man, and fix, you know, you trying to introduce me first and all that. You know what I mean? So that's my point. This is his personality. You know what I mean? I wouldn't agree with it. I mean, because you notice Floyd didn't respond like, motherfucker, you know who I am? He didn't do that. Floyd was quiet. You know what I mean? Floyd was cordial. He was quiet. He didn't, you know, get all wild or anything like that. So, because that's not his personality. You know what I mean? So
yeah, like the way I took it though, I took it like that's some sucker shit though, because it's like he's hitting a punching bag, he's punching on the bag, and he's like, oh, one of my dudes ain't gonna do nothing to you.
Yeah. I mean, once again, he trying to basically say, you know, you okay, Dante. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You okay. That's his way. See, us, we would normally just say, hey, Dante, I was just playing around, man. It's all good. You okay. I was just messing with you. But his personality won't allow him to be, you know, that honest and just say it like that. So he got to say it like that. Just like instead of saying, hey, Dante's Boxing Nation, he ain't going to say Dante's Boxing Nation. He going to say Dante's Box Office because he don't want to make it look like he jocking the brand or anything like that. That's what it really was. You know what I'm saying? Because you could tell when he said, like, oh, I don't know what the slogan is. You know, I don't know what the slogan is, you know, but everybody be saying it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the slogan. That's his personality, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be like, I ain't about to.
It's the same thing.
But I want to say, hey, bro, but thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it, man. Call in anytime. All right, family? Okay.
All right, and Dante, to your point, it's also the same thing he said at his post-fight interview with Jim Gray after the Granados fight. He was basically trying to say it was nothing. It was an easy fight. It's like, dude, you just had life and death. What you talking about?
Oh yeah. That wasn't no easy fight.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, that's his personality. And once again, you know, was it disrespectful? Absolutely, it was disrespectful. But once again, I truly believe that once he seen the way I reacted, you know, that's when he was like, okay, let me stop messing around because this is about to get out of hand. You know, so anyway, but we're going to go ahead and
one more quick point. How old was Broner when he became a champion?
I have no idea. Probably about 23. I'm around 23.
He's like 23.
My guess is around 23.
Yeah, I knew he was pretty young, and not as young as you know, Tank. But what I'm saying is sometimes when people are given, what's that old adage about? It's from the Deep Cover movie and Donald Goines' books. When he said, I was branded a beast and sat at the feast. He said that Jungle Creed says the strong must feed on any prey it can. I was branded a beast and sat at the feast before I was a man. Sometimes when you give somebody too young something that too much that they can't handle, I think that the success kind of went to his head a little bit. And I think that nobody reeled him in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he had gotten to a point where he didn't got out of hand. And nobody can reel him in now. I really and truly, no disrespect to his people. They're doing some good things up there in Ohio, but I would like to see him move to another camp. I'd like to see him under another trainer. I don't know if these people have, his folks have taken him as far as that they're going to take him, but I see skills in him that he needs to hone, he needs to sharpen up, and I don't know if they're going to get him there. I just think that it's time for him to, he's been with the same person since he was 8 years old. I think he's probably taking him as far as he's going to take him, but I think he probably needs another perspective and probably bring in some more people to kind of tighten that up a little bit, because he like you said, it was somewhat of a regression.
Yeah.
From the
Thea Payne. Yeah, from the Thea Payne fight.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree, man. And once again, man, that's just in his personality. And I mean, and once again, what the caller was saying, he was taking shots. I mean, no, I don't. When he was saying Dante, somebody just said in the comment section, who was that loud lady talking? And that's what I was just about to talk about. The lady when what's his name? When Broner, when he shot at me out again, it was a loud mouth lady that was there. Matter of fact, she actually interviewed me before that. She interviewed me, and she was some kind of local reporter, because she kept calling me Deontay, and I told her, I said, it's Dante, and she said, I know, and then when we started the camera, she kept saying Deontay, and she was just she was wild, but when we were interviewing Broner, she was just talking crazy. She was like, yeah, and I'm here, Ohio, Cincinnati, with the man, Broner, and you whoop-de-wop and wop, wop, wop.
Oh my
and Broner was like, what the hell is this? And that's when Broner, he looked at me and he was like, Dante, this must be her first one. You know what I mean? So I had to turn that into another long-ass intro, you know what I'm saying? But once again, that wasn't him picking shots at me. That's him showing me love. We know the difference, you know what I mean? And let me say, and when it comes to this boxing industry, when cats, they ain't got no love for you, they don't mention your name at all. You know what I mean? They don't mention your name at all. Matter of fact, they may not even look at you when you ask them a question. That's people who not showing love, but that's pretty much what it is. Hey, guys, we also going to talk about this Chavez press conference, and I'm going to take another call in a second, all right? But today was the Chavez or the Canelo. I keep saying Chavez Canelo. Today was the Canelo versus Chavez press conference, and it was interesting, man. I just looking at the height disparity and everything, I thought it was pretty interesting, man. I mean, Milt, let me just ask you real quick. Do you think that height? I'm about to pull up a picture in a minute, but do you think that height is gonna make a difference? Because he don't really know how to take advantage of that height advantage either, though, right, Milt?
No, he doesn't. Yeah. And I mean, this is a huge opportunity for Chavez Jr. I will say that. But he's had some big chances in the past, and he kind of came in flat. But I don't know what the weight is going to be looking like. You know what I mean? Even though they got it at 65, he's missed weight, in the past. I don't know if he makes weight, I'll be surprised. But the thing is, I don't think he's going to use his height, the reach. If he did, I think he could possibly win this fight. But I think that eventually it's going to devolve into just a straight up brawl, and I think Canelo is going to test that liver.
Yeah, man. If he go down with a body shot, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna agree with him as well, because Chavez, he's taller, but I don't think he knows how to use his height, and because he's the bigger guy, if he ends up boxing, he's not gonna take advantage of the weight. You know what I mean? Because he's a bigger guy, and then if he brawls and go in the inside, we all know Canelo has he's a better all over, not just a boxer, he's better fighter in general. You know what I mean? The inside and the outside, he's a better counter puncher. So I don't know, man. This fight is kind of tricky, but one thing for sure, Chavez Jr. is taking this fight seriously, and he looked like he's in shape for the first time. Maybe not the first time, maybe the second time or third time, but he is taking this fight seriously. So I just wonder who got more fans in Mexico.
That's easy. That's easy. That's easy. Chavez easily got more fans. Matter of fact, I mean, look, if you even listen to what Canelo said. Matter of fact, let me just quote what he said since you brought that up. This is what Canelo said to Mexican, fans. This is basically what he said. He said, quote, "Some of you don't like me. Some of you support me, but the important thing is that this fight is for Mexico." He was talking about Mexican fans when he said, some of you guys don't like me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, with him saying that clearly suggests that he feels that, there's a lot of people who don't like him. And, you don't really have a whole lot of people hating on Chavez like that. But you know what? The truth of the matter, though, it's not even so much of people not liking him. It's just people criticizing him when he has a guy like Golovkin calling him out and he gives up the belt. You can't call that hating.
Yeah.
That's just people being honest and saying, man, why would you do that? That's not hating.
No.
Hating is when you just call somebody gay weather for no reason, or when somebody is standing in front of you and you say all they do is run. When you visibly see them standing right in front of you, that's hating on someone.
Right.
But stating the obvious and stating the facts and saying, why would you give up your title belt?
He did himself no favors
You know what I'm saying?
with that, man.
Instead of fighting this guy, that's not hating on someone.
No.
So that's pretty much what that is. But anyway,
who do you think is gonna win?
I think Canelo is gonna win.
I'm going with
I think Canelo is gonna win. I mean, I would like to see a competitive fight. I think if Chavez goes in there and he applies a lot of pressure, but behind an intelligent, stiff pole type jab, that really offsets Canelo the whole night, that could give him a chance to win. But outside of that, I don't think, he's that disciplined enough to use a jab like that for a whole 12 rounds and set it up the proper way, using it up and down. And Canelo is a very good counterpuncher, but we're going to get to see how Canelo looks once again at that higher weight class,
right?
And that'll be interesting. So,
what about you, Kurt?
Yeah, that's the biggest test.
What
we know Chavez? He's not gonna use his size like you guys said. He's not gonna use his size and box. He's just gonna go out there and really try and brawl. And if he does decide to box, I think that favors Canelo anyways. He's more of a boxer,
more of a complete fighter all the way around,
opposed to the traditional Mexican style fighter, anyways.
Right.
So nobody picking Chavez.
Not yet.
Nah.
Not yet. But let's go ahead. Wait, let me make sure. None of you guys are 5'110", right? None of you guys are 5'110", right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
got?
Well, we got 5'110".
5'10".
What's going on, family? We got 5'110" on the line, man. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Frizzle. Just calling from Oakland, California.
All right, Bay Area.
Bay Area.
That's what it is.
What's
on your mind, man? What's on your mind?
I just want to say, Adrien Broner to me, he does bring excitement to, he's a very entertaining boxer. However, he's just not a disciplined fighter. So therefore, he should stay. He can't make he cannot make 140 pounds. That's why he went up to 147. And the reason why the fight wasn't at 147 to begin with is because he didn't want it to be at 147. That's why it wasn't heavyweight. But because, he has his issues, he didn't have a choice, He can't bang with the best fighters, Keith Thurman, Garcia. I just don't think he has it, he's going to lose another fight, I believe, unless it's, the kind of fighters like Broner, Guerrero, or something like that. I just really don't think he can fight with the top contenders.
Yeah.
We saw what happened when, he fought Errol Spence. He got a black eye. He just don't got what it takes.
It's gonna be an uphill battle, man. It's gonna be an uphill battle, and I agree with you to a certain extent, man. I mean, I just don't think Broner is consistent enough, to really challenge someone like a Thurman or Errol Spence. But like I said, like you just said, man, if he get his mind right, if he focus a little bit more, if he start working on his inside game a little bit more, maybe that'll change things. But at least fighting the way he fought against Granados, it would be tough. It would be tough to face the winner of Thurman versus Garcia at a higher weight class, man. So we'll see.
Yeah, his defense is what hurts him. Adrien Broner, his defense is what hurt him at this point in his career.
Yeah.
At lower weight classes, he was physically stronger than his opponents, and he had a lot of power at the lower weight divisions. But now, he got to rely more on his skills, kind of like when Floyd Mayweather moved up as well. But Floyd had the defense. Adrien Broner kind of doesn't. But wasn't the Adrien Broner fight for the vacant title at first at 140, and then he kind of changed it because he couldn't make the weight to 142, then changed it to 147, or was it not?
I think that's how it went down.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way it went down.
He did Chavez Jr.
He did.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing is, to change the weight at like a week or a week and a half before the fight, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
and then
Jr. did that in the past. You know, Adrien Broner broke the record again.
what was up with the 10 rounds?
Well, and that's why I picked Granados to win, because I was like, they had said that Adrien got sick, or Broner got sick, and I guess it turns out Granados got sick too. But when we changed the weight, I'm like, he's not where he needs to be.
Yeah,
why. So
the weight issue, I couldn't figure out what was up with the 10 rounds either. I thought it was a scheduled 12-round fight.
And that kind of, I think that actually I thought was going to favor Adrien Broner, but I think it hurt him at the end.
It did.
His opponent looked more tired than him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Adrien Broner didn't look that tired in the 10th round, and his opponent, his hands was down. I don't know why he was. I think he was kind of fatigued at that point from the body shots, but it kind of hurt Adrien Broner, the fact that it was a 10-rounder. You know what I mean? He would have won the fight in a more clear fashion, probably if it was a 12 round.
I agree.
A lot of people thought it was a draw. You know what I mean? It was a very close fight.
It was a really close fight.
It was a close fight. I mean, I don't know if it could have went. I thought the regression of Granados after once again his nose started leaking. He did try to apply more pressure, but I thought that's when Broner kind of slightly started taking over. I truly believe. But but if they would have gave it to Granados, I wouldn't have said it was a robbery. But I thought that Broner edged it out. That's
what I was saying. He probably edged it out. That last flurry combo he put together towards the end of the round, that kind of won that 10th round for him. But it was like, I'm like, what in the world is up with this 10-rounder? But speaking of 10 round, you were there. I was watching the Mont Pete fight with Peterson. Big ups to him for capturing the 147 title.
Uh-huh.
I was watching, and they said the judges had Peterson behind going into the 10th round.
Did they say that? I
yes.
didn't even know that.
And I'm
I didn't even know that.
I thought that he was kind of dominating.
He was clearly winning that fight.
But it was that Al Bernstein said the judges had Lamont Peterson behind going into the 10th round, and he swept the 10th, 11th, and 12th. But they had him behind going into the 10th.
What?
Yeah, and I was confused by that.
That is crazy. Because
I'm wondering what it looked like, ringside.
No, it looked like. Lamont.
For his shorts.
What's that? For his shorts?
I think they penalized him for short ass shorts he had on.
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying to show his quads, man. That's what it was, man. Because I didn't know if it was that or he was trying to be on some Sugar Ray Robinson. You remember that was back in the Oscar De La Hoya. I remember Oscar De La Hoya started doing that.
Yeah, he had them John Stocktons on.
He borrowed some shorts from John Stockton, one or the other.
No, he borrowed them shorts from Fernando Montiel. That's where he got them from. Man, but Fernando used to do that too. He used to have those, But it's a good thing you brought up Lamont. Congratulations to Lamont Peterson.
Yeah,
and Lamont is another one, Milt.
Yeah,
I mean he's another one that's in this monster ass division.
At 147. Yes,
it's tough, man.
And I'm telling you,
really
he gave. A lot of people, and I read it over, and I really read a lot of comments about the Danny Garcia Lamont Peterson fight, and I know it was at a catchweight. And a lot of people say that they think Lamont Peterson won that fight. But Danny Garcia.
Oh,
remember him and Danny mixed it up.
Uh-huh.
And
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I just said I think so too. I think Lamont beats Danny Garcia.
I picked Lamont.
I'm in agreement. I thought he won that. So.
I picked Lamont before the fight. I did, and a lot of people laughing at me. I'm like, hey man, Lamont can fight. But I will say this: I think he started a little bit too late. I think
I agree.
He clearly dominated like the last. 5 rounds were clearly Lamont Peterson, but I think he gave away a little bit too much in the earlier rounds, and one of them was like a swing round, and they threw it at Danny. But I mean, it was I knew it was Danny's toughest fight that I've ever seen him in. And if you basing it off just the last half of the fight, man, I'm telling you, he really worked Danny. I've never seen Danny work that bad before.
I agree with you, man. I thought, when I added up all the rounds, I thought that he started maybe 2 rounds too late.
Yeah, that's what
Lamont
I said.
Peterson. He completely dominated the second half, but I thought he gave Danny way too many rounds. So
he was just waiting before he got in.
And that was.
But I say that to say this, and I'm sorry, but Lamont can compete at 147 with the rest of the cats. I don't know if he's gonna come out as the king. Well, there can only be one king, and I'm thinking that's gonna be Errol Spence. But I think he definitely compete. He can get in there and compete.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna definitely see, man.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one too.
Yeah, but Lucas Matisse is pretty much done now. No, he's
moving up to 47.
They speaking of Timothy Bradley versus Lamont Peterson.
Timothy Bradley, that would be a great fight. That would be a great fight right there, man. That would be a great fight.
Yeah,
and
Storm been off for so
he been
long.
off. I was just about to say that he been off for a minute, man. He been off for a minute, man. So, but anyway, let's see. Let's take another call, guys. We're gonna go with 443. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, Dante's Boxing Nation?
Hey, what's good? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Maryland.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm from Maryland.
Maryland.
Okay. What's good? What's going on, brother? What's on your mind, man?
Just a couple questions. So, after this Adrien Granados fight, where do you think Granados? What does Granados do next at 140? What do you guys think about a possible Ricky Burns Granados fight?
Ooh, Ricky Burns Granados fight. I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't know if it would be, the best fight, but it would be an interesting fight. I mean, I would probably lean towards Granados if he could apply the type of pressure, that he applied on Amir Imam. But it would be a good win, no doubt about it. It would be a good win for whoever will win that fight. I know everybody's been after Ricky Burns,
They look for that weakest link.
Yeah. But for Granados, Granados, it would be a good fight. I mean, right now Granados is starting to look like somewhat of a gatekeeper. Let's see if he could be a successful gatekeeper. So that's pretty much how I see it, man. But man.
For sure. Also, I have one more quick question about the Marcus Brown, Thomas Top Dog Williams fight. How do you guys think Marcus Brown looked, and how do you think he does against Adonis Stevenson's power? Also, real quick, there's been in the past in his fight, I think in this fight against Thomas Top Dog Williams, you could see that Brown actually hit Williams in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And in his last fight against Hot Rod, I believe, I didn't see the whole entire fight. I think they were also accusing him of hitting in the back of the head. I just wanted to ask you guys' opinions on that, and what do you guys think?
Good question, man.
And
by the way, you sound a little bit more clear now, and I don't know what you just did, but I could barely hear you at first. You sound a little bit more clear now.
I couldn't either.
But go ahead.
Yeah, that fight, I really wish the ref had stepped in. I don't know if he necessarily had to give Brown a DQ, but I definitely think it probably should have been a no contest at that point, because I don't think I give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he intentionally caught the man on the back of the head. But
I thought it was intentional.
You thought it was intentional?
Yeah, I thought it was.
I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I thought it was a stupid move, man. I mean, you got a guy hurt like that, and you take a chance
somebody
like
wouldn't
that.
Be that dirty. You would hope someone wouldn't be that blatantly dirty, and hit a man while he's in that awkward position, hand on the canvas. He's clearly down, if you ask me. But the thing is, and I give Top Dog, I give Williams all the credit in the world for manning up, because the thing is, it put him in a bad situation. It's like, hey man, do I bow out right now and say I can't continue, and then I look like a hoe, or either do I step up and man up and try to fight through this? But he was saying he couldn't recover, which I give I can understand, man. That was a wicked shot he took. And so, I really don't think that he should have lost because he couldn't recover from that shot, and that was a nasty shot he took, man.
Yeah.
But I would have liked for the referee to step in and say, "Hey, man, this is either they waive this off and say it's a no contest, y'all mix it up again later."
Yeah, honestly, I thought it should have been a no contest.
Mhm.
That was a little bit.
Well, I was, but see, as a boxing fan, I was hoping that it wouldn't end like that, though. I wanted, I wanted a clear conclusion, with no dispute or anything like that. And I feel that's what we got. I think they did it right. They did the right thing. They gave him about 5 minutes to recover, which would take about that, amount of time to recover from, a vicious shot while you're on the ground. But then again, I mean, don't get me wrong, because he was hurt from the original shot. The shot that Brown threw when he was, on his knee, he blocked that shot actually, But of course, but Top Dog did what he's supposed to do. You take advantage of that situation, just like Montel Griffin did in the Roy Jones fight.
I think Montel was clearly.
Oh yeah, best actor of the year. But he got another payday. He got a rematch, which was the good thing for him. But no, man, I think Marcus, he let his feelings get to him, emotions set in, and all the stuff they was talking probably before the fight, it made him want to do something that almost cost him the fight, so hopefully he gets it together. But to answer your second question, man, I don't think he's ready for Adonis Stevenson. He should take baby steps, man. He should try to fight a couple more other cats. I don't think he's ready for the Sergey Kovalevs, the Andre Wards, any of them guys right now. But he's getting better and better though, So go ahead, man.
I had made a note, man, to make sure that I mentioned that how hot the light heavyweight division is.
Another hot division.
Oh my God, man! I think it's the hottest division in boxing right now. Because I'm here to tell you, man, we got what's his name, Alexander Gvozdyk, this young cat. He's only on his 8th or 9th pro fight. They calling him the Lomachenko of light heavyweight division.
I remember the name, but I don't think I've seen a whole lot of them.
Yuneski Gonzalez.
Okay.
I remember Yuneski. He fought Pascal real tough, but he lost to
Shabransky too.
He lost to Shabransky, and then Barrera KO'd Shabransky, and Barrera is getting ready to fight Beterbiev. They finally put the Arthur Beterbiev.
Yeah, that's in April, right?
That's in April. And then on top of that, Fanfara is getting ready to fight again. It's just going to be, and then the rematch between Sergey and SOG, that's looming. Whenever that's going to happen, but it's just so many big fights that are out there right now to be made at the light heavyweight division. Man, it's wide open.
There's a lot of stacked divisions right now, and I mean the heavyweight division is pretty stacked.
It's coming back.
The featherweight division, I mean, is it the featherweight division? But the only problem is they probably won't fight each other because right now Frampton and Cruz is in love right now, and they talking about fighting for the next 5 years. So that probably ain't gonna happen. But anyway, I
know. Yeah, and I ain't even mention Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Adonis. So I mean. The light heavyweight division, man, it's a tough division right now. Also want to say shout out to Roy Jones Jr.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the legend for picking up the cruiserweight title. I interviewed him, it was about a couple years ago. He said that was one of his biggest regrets was that he went, middle, super middle, light heavy, then straight to heavy. He didn't stop and get a cruiserweight title on the way up. And he says, that's one thing that haunted him. And I'm like, man, hey, I hope now that he has that cruiserweight title that, he's satiated, he's satisfied, and that there's no stone unturned. I'd like to see him just, chill out, man, and call fights. He's good at it. Hey, man, I'd like to see him.
Yeah, I think...
Unfortunately, probably, yeah.
Yeah, he'll keep going.
He'll keep fighting.
But I think it's easier to return when you finish on a note where you win a good fight.
Yeah.
A high note where you win a significant fight, and this was kind of significant. Yeah. So that's why, because that's the first time I think he actually said, I may retire after, or I'm going to retire after this year or something like that.
Yeah.
But like you said, Kirk, who knows, man? He may just keep going, man. he may just keep going.
Did he win a legit title though? Was it like
I don't think
IBF title?
I don't think it's a legit.
It was like a WBF.
Trinket,
I think it was
some kind of like
I ain't taking no shine away from my man. You know, that's my man's. But it's like
he won like the NAACP title.
The hoodie award.
Yeah, he won a hoodie award.
He got the hoodie award title. Yeah, no.
Hey man, I ain't gonna take that from him.
I mean, but with Roy Jones, being how old is he? Like 50?
48.
48?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean hopefully, he go ahead and just chill and do his, commentary and all of that, but let's see. Let's go and take another call. We got 317. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Dante? It's Boxing Nation. What's up, Milk? Finally caught you, bro.
Hey, what's good? Who this, man?
This MG calling from Indiana.
Okay. Hey, what's good, bro?
I'm all right. Hey, AK and Kurt, man. Y'all still doing a good job, bro. Love what y'all doing. I got a couple questions, Dante.
All right, what's it? What's going on, man?
What y'all think about the Deontay Wilder fight coming up? Him and Gerald Washington.
Hey, well, first of all, I'm so happy we got an upgrade when it comes to that fight. I mean, to go from Walweezik, however you say his name, to Gerald Washington, an undefeated contender. It's a tougher fight. I think that Deontay Wilder still, his right hand separates him from almost any heavyweight right now. I think Gerald Washington will do good until that right hand lands. It'll be interesting, though, to see how well he boxes, because I know Spilka, he was in there trying to look like he was Roy Jones with Deontay Wilder, and he had some success, a little bit of success in there.
He carried the fight out a lot further than it probably should have gone. Just with good head movement and good foot movement.
But if I'm forced to,
I just recently watched the Amir Mansour fight, and it looked like to me like Gerald Washington like kind of gassed out the 8th, 9th, and 10th round.
Yeah, he did slow down a little bit. He slowed down a little bit. I mean, the fact
that I wonder if a fight goes into the later rounds, how fresh and how sharp will it be? Because we know Wilder done went 12 once, and he went 11 against Dual Policy. He went I think 10 his last fight.
Yeah. I mean, see, like I said, man, I just don't see. I don't see Gerald Washington going the whole 12 rounds. Like you said, he does get a little tired. But once again, he's a heavyweight. He's 6'6", 6'7", something like that. And
50.
Yeah. And who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, if Deontay Wilder ain't on his shit, if his defense ain't proper and everything, something interesting could happen in this fight.
It can be very interesting, I know, but I think that he will gas. And another thing too, he's a bit defensive. He doesn't transition from defense to offense very well. And
Good point.
And I think that Deontay Wilder, he has to set his stuff up. It's almost like he has to think about what he has to do. And I don't think he has that pedigree, that amateur background that's going to carry him. I think that's one of his biggest weaknesses, is that he just doesn't have that to fall back on. But one thing with Deontay, and I think he'll overcome it, but I hope that they have been working on that left hook. He needs to add that to his tool belt, because the thing is, I know he's going to be a little bit timid on throwing that right hand. He was talking about it. I was watching an interview with him a while back where he was hitting the heavy bag and he didn't want to let it go. The doctors were telling him, hey, man, it's as good as it's going to be. It's probably healthier than it was before you broke it. But he didn't trust that right hand. So I'm glad he didn't step all the way back up and fight, somebody in the top 10.
Yeah. He ain't going to trust it until it connect one good time. And he'll be like, okay. It don't hurt? Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And so... that's what
next question,
for.
Man. Mm-hmm. I gotta always bring up my guy, Duck, Kell Brook. We see he finally stepped up, took the fight, and his promoter. I was watching ITV today, and his promoter was like, there were bigger fights out there that he could have took. He could have moved up to 154 and all this stuff. But I'm like, who is he going to fight at 154 that's top, and who is he going to beat there? Because he's not beating Cotto, he's not beating Andre, he's not beating Lara, he's not beating Jamel Charlo. Jamal moved up. He's not like beating the top 154 people.
He's not.
In my opinion.
He'd have sought out
and
the
at
Liam
147,
Smiths.
I mean, the only reason he went back down because he has a belt, and he figured if he lose, he'd rather lose trying to win, trying to keep his title than trying to move up to another weight class. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well be a promoter.
Yeah,
let me tell you, brother, you hit the nail right on the head.
And Cotto, the only one he would have had a little chance against, but like you said, he might not have even beat Cotto.
No.
Yeah. I think Cotto just done fought better opposition than Kell Brook has even. To be honest, the only guy he fought, in his weight class at 147 is Sean Porter, and he jabbed and hugged the whole fight.
There you go.
It's not like he did a great job.
He ain't gonna be able to hold Errol Spence. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna be able to hold
Errol
Spence.
No, that body work Errol Spence got for him, he ain't gonna want to hold him.
No. Yeah.
Oh, he gonna want to hold him, all right.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
But man, let me tell you, that was real calculated. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, AK.
Go ahead.
But Errol Spence, he's sparring with the I think one of the Charlo brothers. So that's a good ass preparation for Kell Brook because they use their jab in a good way and they throw the 1-2 a lot. So I don't know which Charlo brother he's sparring with, but that's a good preparation. And because Kell Brook is going to be hard to find somebody that fights like Errol Spence.
Yeah, that is.
So I don't know who he's.
That's huge. That's huge. Sparring with one of the Charlo
I
brothers.
was going to ask y'all what y'all think about Jamal moving up to 160, and what is a fight that he can get acclimated to the weight. Like I don't want to just rush him in there with Golovkin his first fight.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
you got
probably like a
you got Kurzitse, you got
Andre Ward did. So take the Barrera and the what's the other guy's name? I forget his name, but took two
Alexander Brand
fights that he fought Kovalev.
Yeah, Alexander Brand and Barrera. You got Chris Eubank, you got Avondale Kurzitse. That would be a great fight. Of course, Billy Joe Saunders, who is trying to avoid Kurzitse right now.
Yeah.
David Lemieux would be a good fight, or the winner, I should say.
I think that'll be a real good fight. Him and David. That would be a real good fight.
The winner of the Lemieux Stevens.
Yeah.
The Lemieux Stevens is getting ready to come up.
What's that?
Is Dominic Wade still locked up?
Don't nobody know what didn't happen to Dominic Wade since that. I mean,
he fell off the map. I ain't heard from him in a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're gonna find somebody for him to fight. I mean, but yeah, that and it'll be really interesting to see how he does look against a middleweight opponent.
It will. It will be very interesting. But I'd start him off with somebody that has probably been out of the picture for a minute to bring him up. Yeah. Somebody like an Andy Lee or a Korobov or
there you go.
Someone on that caliber of a fighter, rather than putting him in there, close to the mix just now, just to test out the weight to see how and the power to see how. Because but don't catch Andy Lee slipping though, because
that's what I was about to say.
Because
when people they give he's kind of almost underrated because whenever I talk to boxers and trainers, they be talking about how dangerous he is because that power makes up for a lot of his flaws.
Lee got cracked, man.
Yeah, man.
He can crack.
He can knock anyone out with that.
Somebody
the fact that he's been knocked out before.
Yeah.
Shit, even a Gabe Rosado. Well, he already fought Gabe. Well, one of the brothers already fought Gabe Rosado.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, there's a couple guys up there at the middleweight division he could test the waters with. So hey, man. But thanks for your call, man. All right.
Great knowledge, brother. Great knowledge, man.
Yeah, good question.
Hey, man. I appreciate it, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. And Milk, I'm glad I finally caught you, bro. I love your insight, man.
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
All right, take care, bro.
Be easy.
Yep.
One.
Yeah, man. Hey, but AK, that's big, man. The fact that that Errol is sparring with one of the Charlo brothers. I mean, that's huge right there, man. I seen that. I seen the headline and I never got back to it, so I wasn't sure if it was official that he was doing that. But they both out there in Texas.
Out there in Texas,
it makes sense. They both preparing for big fights. Well, or I'm assuming that Charlo will be eventually.
Who's Jamel fighting?
I know Jamel's fighting Hatley. He's fighting Charles Hatley.
Charles Hatley.
Matter of fact, we're gonna have Charles Hatley on the show too, real soon to talk about that fight. But go ahead, AK.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, if Errol Spence, let's say he's winning the sparring match against the Charlo brother, shit, he shouldn't have a problem winning the fight with Kell Brooks.
Well,
when he goes,
he will definitely be prepared. He will definitely be prepared more than any fighter can be. I mean, sparring with the Charlos, and you can imagine how heated them sparring sessions are. Oh. Errol Spence and one of the Charlo brothers, which will most likely be Jamel. Yeah, man, I can only imagine. It's got to be some serious.
Jamel is the one moving up. Which one is Jamel?
Jamal moving up. Jamal's moving up.
But I will say this: it's iron sharpens iron, because I'm telling you, them giving, he's getting, both of them are getting good sparring. And gaining great knowledge from fighting one another. You know what I mean? So iron sharpens iron. That's a good test either way it goes, on both sides.
Absolutely.
So that's a win-win for them. Some great knowledge that they're gaining out there in their training.
Absolutely, man. Let's go ahead and take another call, man. Once again, these cats been on hold for a while. I appreciate you guys staying on hold. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got 602. What's going on, man? 602, you there? Okay, he done fell asleep because he's still okay. All right, let's go to the next one then. All right, we got 904. What's going on, 904?
Bro, stop playing with me. You know who's there.
What the?
Hey, 904, you on Dante's Boxing Nation.
904.
Everybody used to always rank on. They say he was.
Okay, we got 904. He over there.
He got the party line.
Yeah, I don't know what they doing over there. They having fun. Let's go to another one, man. 908. What's going on, 908?
Hey, what up, man?
Oh, we got a live one.
From Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Oh, Elizabeth.
What's your name? I was talking when you said, what's your name, bro?
My name's Hector Barber.
Oh, we got Hector Barber back on. What's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
What's going on? It's good to hear from you again, family.
Yeah, I came back, bro. I was waiting for you, man.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I know everybody bothering you on the streets now, and they want to get your autograph and everything now, and so
legitimate superstar.
Just tell them to back off, dog. Tell them to back off, dog. Man. What's good, man? What we talking about today, man?
Yeah, man, nah, I'm just talking about, I was thinking about what you was talking about, Broner, and he's a fag, man. I'm like, yo, this guy's a cornball, and I don't understand, every guy he fights, he loses to, and then, he still got the audacity to talk shit, and, to me, he's a bootleg Mayweather that does that fake ass shoulder roll that he still hasn't mastered yet, and it's just he's a clown. He's just a clown to me.
Yeah, hey man, that's what it is. I mean, hey, look, man, this is all I can say. It's hard to try to be It's hard to be Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Anybody could do the shoulder roll and all that kind of stuff, but that don't mean you're gonna have the timing, the transitioning, and being able to fight off the ropes. And that's why I said earlier, I wish AB was able to fight on the inside as well as Floyd Mayweather could do, but right now I don't think that Broner is that comfortable to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, where's Mayweather at, man?
What's up?
Why he ain't in this mix? Why is he talking about fighting McGregor? Like, that's corny. Don't you think that's corny too?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna tell you. But would you watch it? But Hector, would you? But Hector, would you watch it though?
Yes, no, come on. I would.
That's why
I would watch it because it's entertaining. But to be honest, if he beats McGregor, do you really think McGregor?
Oh, that means nothing. Oh, that mean, but I mean, let's be realistic. We know it doesn't mean anything if Floyd beats him. You know what I'm saying? It's WWE. It's just entertaining. It's just
But
entertainment.
yo, you don't think that's messing up boxing though?
Oh, why would it? I mean,
Nah, that's
if he's
boxing
40,
back to
think
live.
about this, Hector.
It's giving boxing more attention, and then like every time he talks about it, he prefaces by saying this is about entertainment. Like,
Well, do
this
you
isn't
think it
really-
messes up the UFC? Do you think it messes up the UFC?
To be honest, I don't even like the UFC. It's corny to
Yeah.
me too. You know,
But
but you know,
he messes it up.
I think that Mayweather is making the shit look, to me, it's like Brooke and Spence. That's a fight that's going to bring boxing back because that's two hardcore dudes that are about to go at it. And like Thurman and Garcia, that's a real fight.
Yeah, but the casuals that don't watch boxing, they don't know nothing about it. But with Mayweather, Conor McGregor, the people who never watched boxing before will watch it, and then if Floyd Mayweather whoop his ass in a nice way, plus the build-up, they might become boxing fans.
Yeah.
So
Yo, you see him get whipped by his stupid ass bar partner, bro. Come on, man. He got no shots at Mayweather.
We know
We know that.
That's gonna happen.
Hey,
But there's some
We know
corny.
it's gonna happen, but it's like the same people like. I mean, we had an Andre Ward and a Sergey Kovalev fight a couple months ago, and no one's really talking about it like they should. And that's like a premier pound for pound, fight.
What, the fight that Ward lost?
I mean, the fight he won. But
We right there, Hector. Hector, me and you right there. But I let it go.
Hey, like
let me ask Dante. Let me ask you something. Do you consider Floyd Mayweather your top 5 fighters of all time?
Of course, absolutely. I mean, once again.
Wow.
I
just want
wait,
you to see where you was at. That's all.
Hector, you already answered the question the last time you was on the show, bro. When I asked you the simple question, and I know later on you put in the comment section you should have said Bernard Hopkins. I seen that. But the fact that I asked
Bernard Hopkins for way better competition
then
than
how come
Mayweather.
then how come no one is calling Bernard Hopkins the greatest fighter in the last 25 years then if that's the case? I mean, nobody is saying
Bernard
that.
Hopkins is not undefeated, and Bernard Hopkins don't talk a lot of shit.
And not only that,
I mean, he does,
and Hector,
but not like a Mayweather, though.
and Hector, not only that, Hector, but there was certain fighters that Bernard Hopkins just could not beat, even with a rematch. He could not adjust to certain styles. When it came to the
we've seen him take the chance, though. And boxing, you got to take chances.
Well,
you just can't sit there and just fucking, pick and choose who you want to fight because that doesn't define a great champion.
Hey, Hector, I ain't gonna. Hey, Hector.
Weight classes. I think he took plenty of chances fighting in 5 different weight classes.
Yeah, and once
What,
again,
Floyd
Mayweather.
Mayweather.
When you fighting against Gennaro Hernandez, when you fighting against what's his name, Diego Corrales. Of course, that's taking chances because you're fighting against someone who's pound for pound. A lot of people don't know this, but when Floyd Mayweather fought Diego Corrales was considered pound for pound, universally number 5, the best fighter in the world. At the time, Floyd was number 7, and they had Diego Corrales number 5. So when you talk about taking chances, I mean, what's a bigger chance than fighting a guy who's considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world?
I will say this, Hector. Hey, man, I understand where you're coming from. I remember the Pretty Boy Floyd days, and that's one thing that I hold on to because later on, the Money Mayweather days were not as good as the Pretty Boy Floyd days. I will say that.
Okay, I would agree with that.
Hold on. I got to say something. On the last show, you said Floyd Mayweather fought better competition at the end of his career.
I was thinking about that. I said
in the beginning.
No, we got to record it, bro. You said he fought. I got to record it, bro. You said at the end of his career,
the Pretty Boy version of Floyd.
No, I would say this. No, for me, it's not the.
Yeah.
Hey.
No. Listen. He cherry-picked a lot of people. Do you think Guerrero had a shot? He didn't have a shot. You think
But Guerrero was a title holder.
Berto had a shot.
Hey, but what?
Money Boy Floyd or Pretty Boy Floyd? Which one did fight? Which one did he fight? Which Floyd Mayweather fought the better competition? Pretty Boy Floyd or Money Boy?
Let me tell you.
Money Boy Floyd.
I mean, obviously you're going to have to go with in the beginning, but I still think he cherry-picked those guys in the beginning too.
No.
Okay, well, last
He
show
che-
you said you like the
But-
Floyd Mayweather fought better competition at the end of his career. You said it. I didn't say it. You said it.
You did say it. You did say it, Hector. You
Hey,
showed
hey,
do.
hey, check this
You
out though.
sure do.
Check this out though, Hector. What I'm saying is, I think he fought the best competition throughout his entire career. It's just the way he beat them when he was Pretty Boy Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
When he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he blew him away. It wasn't even no competition. But later on, with his his bad hands.
Do you think he could have beat Oscar De La Hoya around the time that De La Hoya fought Trinidad?
Of course
he
he
would have
did.
beat Ike Cortez at 147?
Of course.
Yes.
Let me tell you. Well, let me. Well, listen.
Hold on. Remember the last time you were on the show, and I think Dante asked you to name like 5 guys with a better resume than Floyd Mayweather in the past.
I should have
20 years.
mentioned Bernard Hopkins. I was puzzled at the time.
No,
Okay.
but see,
Aside from Bernard Hopkins, can you name some other guys that you think have a better resume than Floyd
Oh my
Mayweather?
God, De La Hoya.
no.
Trinidad?
People, hold on. The ones that they beat, not just people they lost to, because all of us could lose to somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We want to know.
Zab Judah lost to the best.
Yeah, because if that's the case, Zab Judah is the greatest fighter in the world. You know what I mean? Because Zab Judah's resume is better than almost everyone's resume, and he is a good fighter, by the way. So, but I'm just saying, we have to go off of who they beat.
Right.
So that's why we got to clarify when we say resume, not just who you lost to, who did you beat, and you can't compare Oscar De La Hoya's resume, not even Bernard Hopkins.
So
if we going off of
Joe Kawasaki then. Joe Kawasaki retired undefeated,
okay, so who did he beat? So name.
Roy Jones. If
Okay.
you want to take it like
Let's
that.
talk about Joe. Let's talk about Kawasaki. Let's go back to Kawasaki then. So who did he beat that was better than Floyd Mayweather's entire resume of who Floyd Mayweather beat?
Oh man, to be honest, I'm trying to think of Mayweather's resume. To be honest, he got Pacquiao, Cotto,
you keep setting yourself up. You keep setting your own self up, Hector. You keep setting your own self up. Hey, just be honest, Hector. Be honest, man. Why don't you just tell people you personally don't like Floyd Mayweather? Why don't you just be honest and just say that? You know?
No. I can't. I'll never say that because I don't have a problem with the dude. I think the dude
you don't have a problem with him.
I wish I seen him fight the people I wanted him to fight. That's all.
Okay,
I'll ask you, who did he not fight that you wanted him to fight?
Well, we are.
He could have fought Castazul. I feel he ducked him.
He called out Castazul.
But didn't he fight in Castazul's the weight division? Right or wrong?
Hold on.
He fought Sean Bay Mitchell.
Hold on. Let me. Hold on for a second. Hold on, guys. Let's talk about Castazul for a second because Hector, you're not following the sport like me, bro. Listen, Floyd Mayweather called out Castazul. Floyd Mayweather was trying to get a Castazul fight until Castazul got knocked out, technically stopped because he quit against Ricky Hatton. Castazul was considered pound for pound number 3, the best fighter in the world.
And what did he do to Ricky Hatton?
And then Ricky Hatton. Hold on. No. We talking about when Castazul was considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. So you can't say before because this is when he was at the highest point in his career. Castazul was pound for pound number 3, the best fighter in the world. And Ricky Hatton beat him when he was number 3. Then when Ricky Hatton beat him, they had Ricky Hatton at number 4. Pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. So Floyd Mayweather beat the man that beat the man. So you gotta know the sport, man, when it comes to these fighters. Floyd called out. Hold on. Let me just say this. Floyd Mayweather, he called out Casamayor when he was undefeated. He called out Acelino Freitas when he was undefeated. He called out Nassim Hamed when he was undefeated, and
everybody calls out everybody, but at the end you got to do the
I know, but you're accusing him of ducking these guys, and what I'm saying is Floyd Mayweather he was trying to fight Costa, but Costa couldn't keep winning. See, this is another thing too. To build these fights up, both fighters they have to keep winning. If they don't keep winning, then the fight won't get made. So what happened was Castazul, he ended up losing to Ricky Hatton, and then Floyd Mayweather, he beat Ricky Hatton, and that's pretty much the end of it, man. But Hey, man, everybody is telling me to hang up, man. Everybody's saying it's time to get to the next call, man. But I got love for you, man. I appreciate you mixing it all up, though, man. You know, but you got to get on your A game, though, man, because I don't want to have to keep calling you no decaf, man. So you're gonna have to get on your A game. But it's all love, family. It's all love, man. Call in. I'm gonna try to lock your number in so we could get you in, next time, because I like mixing it up, man. So hey, take care, Hector. All right.
Can I ask you one more question before you hang up?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Who do you got winning between Chavez and Canelo?
Hey, right now it's early, and I'm just being honest. It can change later on, but right now I'm slightly leaning towards Canelo. But I'm liking what I'm seeing with Chavez. Once again, like I was telling you guys earlier, if I see Chavez with an educated, disciplined jab, like an Ike Corte type, bazooka jab, and he's setting his inside attack up with a consistent jab, and he's applying a lot of pressure, on Canelo, he has a good chance of winning that fight, but once again, he has to be very disciplined, and it's kind of hard to, put your chips, in Chavez when it comes to relying on him being that disciplined. So that's how I see it.
Do you think he's a good tune-up for a Triple G fight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. I definitely do. Aggressive, very big, naturally heavy and everything, He's going to come in with natural power. He's going to try to apply pressure. Hopefully he applies pressure, because I'm hoping he don't try to go in there trying to do some Juan Marquez stuff. That would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
That would be a bad idea. He needs to apply pressure. I truly believe that Canelo, cannot go 12 rounds, 3 minutes of every round with someone pressuring him nonstop, but we'll see, man. We'll see. So, all right, Hector, I'm gonna let you go, fam. Take care, all right, man.
Appreciate the love, man.
All right, take care, man. All right, Hector Barber, man.
But ain't it funny, Dante? How last time he was like, "Oh, Floyd Mayweather fought, everybody at the end of his career."
Yeah, he
the
did.
Beginning of his career. That's why he don't like Floyd.
Man, Floyd has fought nothing but champions throughout his career, man.
That he like Floyd back in his early career.
This
not
is
at the end of his career. He contradicting himself because he knows the truth.
Yeah,
he knows Floyd Mayweather fought the best throughout his career.
Yeah.
But he just, you know what I mean? Like, and you're always going to contradict yourself if you don't tell the truth.
This is why. This is why I always say. This is why I always say, man, one of the most dangerous weapons in the world is what? A microphone. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously that man did not realize that what he just said the other week was recorded. You know what I'm saying?
Then can you put that at the end of this video?
Huh?
Oh, no, you can't, 'cause it's live. It's live, yeah.
I tell you what, though.
I could put the link in there, though. I can put the link in the description box, though.
He dropped a name.
Yeah.
He dropped a name that Floyd fought that, he trying to diminish Floyd's record with the name. But I'm here to tell you, Shambe Mitchell, Mr. Friday Night Fight, Mr. Thursday Night Fight himself. Let me tell you, that dude is tough as hell, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shambe Mitchell was that ain't no easy win for anybody.
And he walked through him.
He walked right through him.
And
walked right through him, man. I think that was one of the most impressive performances I've seen from Floyd, was the way he walked through
the fight of the year, too, wasn't it? Like, it was an action fight.
It was an action fight. But I mean, Floyd, I just mastered this dude, man. But what did he take him out with? It wasn't a right to the gut.
Yeah, you remember?
I remember.
Yeah, that right to the solar plexus.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, the punches he was putting together.
And Floyd Mayweather shows what you're supposed to do for every different type of opponent. This is what I mean when I say Bernard Hopkins. You can't compare, and Bernard is one of the greats, no doubt about it. But they don't even have Bernard Hopkins in the top 5 when it comes to the greatest in the top 25. But the reason why you can't compare Hopkins to Floyd is because Floyd could adjust to every type of style.
Right.
Every time Bernard Hopkins got in there with another boxer, he struggled. He struggled against Calzaghe. He struggled against
I wish he could have caught Calzaghe earlier in his
what was the
career.
name I just mentioned?
Roy Jones.
Jermaine Taylor. That's the name I was trying to. He struggled against Jermaine Taylor twice. He struggled against Chad Dawson. These are type of fighters that Floyd Mayweather would find a way to adjust and beat. It makes me feel like if Mosley and Hopkins were in the same division, Mosley would have struggled against Shane Mosley. I'm sorry. Hopkins would have struggled against Shane Mosley, right? So this is the reason why. That's why when I ask somebody that question, like I asked the question, who would you say has beat better competition than Floyd in the last 25 years? No matter what name you bring up, Floyd Mayweather is going to have a better resume than that fighter because Floyd Mayweather has beat every different type of style there is. So you can't sit over here and say, oh, he only fought Mexican-style fighters and all of this. No, because he fought the Mosleys, he fought the Pacquiaos, he fought the Mexican style or the quote-unquote Mexican style. He fought all of them, and he found a way to win. And even if the fight was extremely close, he came back and gave him a rematch. When it came to Bernard Hopkins, didn't he rematch Jermaine Taylor?
Yeah.
And he lost the rematch, right?
Lost the rematch.
So Jermaine wasn't able to adjust the way Floyd Mayweather was. So no matter what name you, and then he tried to bring up Calzaghe, which was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because we already know.
That's why I asked him. I was like, man, let's name the 5 fighters, if you can think of any 5 fighters over the past 25 years that have a better resume.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was bringing up Oscar De La Hoya, well, he took L's in every big fight he had.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, Hopkins, he's taken L's against Taylor, Calzaghe, and Jones or whoever, boxers and guys that are athletic. So it's like, as you just, and Hopkins couldn't to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
absolutely.
name these fighters.
Yep. Hey, let's take another call, man. Let's go and take another call. All right, let's see what we got over here. All right, y'all. 832. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? This your boy Jimmy J. Smooth touching down after 832, man. What's popping and what's dropping over there at Dante's Boxing?
Jimmy
What's
J.
Good? What's good, man?
What's good with you, family? What's on your mind, man?
Man, we gotta understand some of these code words out here. First of all, when they say Floyd Mayweather is a runner, first of all, you know what I'm saying?
Code word.
That means he's a Negro that none of their favorite fighters can hit. That's what a runner is.
Black bastard Negro. We know what time it is.
Floyd Mayweather is a cherry picker. When they say Floyd Mayweather is a cherry picker, these clowns are mad because Floyd Mayweather either one, beat an elite fighter, or two, they beat a favorite fighter. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me that Floyd Mayweather's a cherry picker because even Robert Guerrero was on the pound for pound list when he beat Robert Guerrero.
Right.
Canelo Alvarez was number 9 pound for pound when he beat Canelo, but they give Canelo the excuse to, Canelo was too young. Well, he has beat Austin Trout, who was number 2 in the 154 division. You know what I'm saying? So stop hating on Floyd Mayweather's resume, because if I could have been on that line, dude, I would have destroyed him in 50 seconds. You know what I'm saying? But I know you be trying to let people make it because you're going to hurt them.
I want to strip him down. I want to strip him down because it's too easy, man. Because, I could easily just hang up on them, but I want to leave them speechless to where they like, I want to have them like that before I hang up. Now if they getting too silly, we'll just hang up.
I already know, man, because that dude is really a Floyd Mayweather hater. When push comes to a shove, he's a Floyd Mayweather hater. And just like all these other casual fans, well, Floyd Mayweather is running. What if you just play the benefit of the doubt? What the hell, I'm going to stand in front of you and let you hit my ass?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, but see, Jimmy J. But see, Jimmy J, this is the thing, though. Like I was saying earlier, even when he's standing right in front of them, they still say he running. That's why, if there's anyone that I know and they talking foolish like that, and let's say, for example, they come over to my house or whatever and they talk crazy, I have some fights on DVR like I had before. I remember I had one associate come over to the house and he was, that guy is just nothing but a runner. I put it right on, and I played it right in front of him. I said, okay, show me the running. And he then when he watched it, he was like, okay, well, it's not that he runs. It's just I just don't like him. I just don't like him. Oh, we forced the truth out of you.
Yeah.
We forced the truth out of you. He, once the evidence was provided and put in front of him, then he was forced to just say, hey, man, I just don't like him. I said, okay, man, then just say that then. Stop making,
Exactly.
Yeah, stop
because
making using all these code words. Yeah, man.
Exactly, because nobody ever calls Lomachenko a runner.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Nobody ever called Salvador Sanchez a runner. And I love Salvador Sanchez. He's one of the greatest Mexican fighters I've ever seen in my entire life, man. He's like the Mexican version of Sugar Ray Robinson. But, you know what I'm saying? Nobody ever called him a runner. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't call, Floyd Mayweather a runner. You know what I'm saying? Because your fighter can't hit him at all. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing, man.
All
you know
day,
what I'm
man.
saying? Because in any combat sports, they teach you not to stand in front of anybody, from MMA to traditional martial arts to boxing.
Right.
They teach you to hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think Golovkin decided to just stay behind the jab when he fought against David Lemieux? Because his ass didn't want to get hit. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want. Nobody wants to get hit. Like I said, even Margarito put his hands up in a high guard. He don't want to get hit. And when he got rocked by Mosley, what'd he do? He start moving around the ring. He start dancing. You know. So yeah, man.
The thing is, to the casual boxing fan, they look at it as they think boxing is some type of tough man competition where you stand toe to toe in front of each other, put your forehead on each other, and just bang away.
But see, I don't even think
a lot
not
of casuals,
to cut you off, dog.
A lot of casuals look at it that way.
No, but I think it depends on who's doing it, though.
I understand there's Floyd
because
hate.
once again, because when Golovkin wasn't fighting Mexican style, he was on the biggest stage. It was pay-per-view. That means he was being introduced to a whole bunch of new viewers, right?
Right.
He could have displayed that Mexican style, that big drama that he had been promoting. Why all of a sudden now when you're on the biggest stage, now you want to fight boxing style? You know what I'm saying? Now you want to
Lemieux?
Yeah, when he fought against Lemieux. So the point that I'm trying to make is these fans, that's a cover up. When they say, oh, we just want to see blood and guts, that's not true. Because if it's a fighter they like Lomachenko, like someone like that, they're okay with them moving around the ring.
Yeah.
They'll sit over here. I've seen it in the comment section all the time. They'll be like, oh, well, he's not supposed to sit there and just get hit. They were saying that about Golovkin. When Golovkin was just jabbing and he wasn't, fighting toe-to-toe, they was like, well, that's what he's supposed to do. You're not supposed to. You're in there with a power puncher. You're not supposed to just get hit, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, but when this Floyd, move all the way up to middleweight and put your hands down and fight toe-to-toe. You know what I'm saying? Why you won't do that, Floyd? Because you a bitch. You a coward. You listen to that, right?
I'm not talking about the Floyd hate.
No,
that's
no.
a whole nother level.
I'm talking about coincidental. I'm talking about coincidental list hate. They do this with any fighter on a coincidental list. If you moving around, Terrence Crawford against Victor Postal, all of a sudden now he's a runner. Now he's a runner. Even when he was fighting Postal toe to toe, they was still saying, oh, but he ran. I was there watching the fight live, and when it was funny because when he gave the fans what they wanted, they got quiet. They didn't have nothing to say. No cheers, no nothing, right? But as soon as he moved around the ring, it was like a handful of people, boo, boo, you know what I'm saying? Because they was looking for something negative to say. But let that be Lomachenko versus Victor Postal. Oh man, this motherfucker, he could dance underwater without getting wet, et cetera, et cetera. That's what that's what Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman actually said. They said this man is so elusive, he's such a genius in there, he can fight and he could jump in the water without getting wet. That's what they said, man. But you're reluctant. Exactly. They said that about Lomachenko.
About what?
But when fighters on the coincidental list do it, they're reluctant. Look he's trying to retreat. I've heard Lampley say that. He used that word exactly. Now Tim Bradley is trying to retreat. Now Terrence Crawford is trying to retreat. They know what they doing, man. Go ahead, Jimmy J.
Exactly. Lomachenko ain't doing nothing that Terry Norris or Roy Jones Jr. ain't already did. Sugar Ray Robinson ain't already did. Kid Chocolate, I'm talking about OG Kid Chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Already did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? These guys, we already know what time it is. We already know that they're using code words when they say these things. It's not just in Lomachenko. Lomachenko, anytime you win 2 Olympic gold medals and go like 401, I think, in amateur, you a bad motherfucker, man. But don't sit up there and hate on one dude for doing the same thing that your favorite fighter is doing. That's my thing.
I agree, brother.
You know what I'm saying? So It is what it is, brother, man. But it's good talking to y'all brothers again, man.
Hey, appreciate
it. Hey,
It's
likewise.
good talking to y'all again.
Hey, man, if you want people to follow you, man, let them know where they can follow you, man.
Man, I'm on the Jimmy J Smooth Network on YouTube, brother, man. So you know what I'm saying. Just hit me up, man. You know what I'm saying. I don't just talk about sports. I talk about, you know what I'm saying, social issues and stuff like that. So just hit me up, man. Surely appreciate you giving me the mic to promote my YouTube page. I surely appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, man. Love when you call in. You got the voice for this, man. So keep it up, man. All right. All right,
brother.
Take care, man. All right, that's Jimmy J, man. So yeah, man, we know what time it is, man, and that's why we do this, man, to spread the word and educate the cats that don't know. They can't read between the lines. They can't decipher this stuff, you know. That's pretty much what it is, man. But let's try to take another call, man. And we getting close to wrapping it up, guys. But we're gonna try to answer as many calls as we can before we wrap it up. We got 914. What's going on, man?
Hey, Dante, man, big fan. Big fan of the show. I used to be one of these casual fans. I used to, when I got back into boxing,
nice.
I'm 28, so I got into boxing, watching Pacquiao, and, you know, we wanted to see the knockouts. But, you know, I got some people in my family that are always, you know, talking to me, oh, Floyd's better. I say, what are you guys talking about? Well, you know, I've come around to the other side, you know.
Hey, they say the quickest way to recovery, you know, is admitting you may have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's the reason why you got over that decafness, man. So I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, brother. But
honestly, you know, it's once you know, watching your videos, not just you, but just, you know, reading a lot of stuff, seeing the way Lampley and you know, Larry Merch and all these racist old white guys, you know what I mean? It's just fucking annoying. the way they you know, they talk about these guys. I'm Cuban, so I guess that's why, you know, I guess it's a little selfish, you know, hearing the way they talk about Lara and the way they talk about Rigo and you know, just the ways they talk about those guys and the way it's different how they talk about Loma and all these other guys. So
yeah.
I just you know, you guys, I don't even know why you talk to all these people who hate on Floyd. I have something personal against Floyd just because of his past with, you know, the domestic abuse, but as a fighter,
and that's one thing. Yeah, I totally understand that.
You can't take anything away from that.
No, you can't.
I mean, as a boxer, I mean, come on. At age, I wrote it down because I was trying to call in a few weeks ago, and I looked it up myself, and I saw that Floyd is Canelo's 26 right now. Floyd was 24 years old when he gave Castillo the rematch.
That's an excellent
24.
point.
So, like, he was wise behind his ear. You know, Canelo never gave Adrien Lara a rematch. That was his one. So anybody who ever had a close fight with Floyd, he ran it back immediately. He didn't even wait till the guy got old.
He
fought Maidana right after. When people thought Maidana beat him, he said, "Okay, I'll show you." And he whooped his ass. And then the same thing with Luis Castillo. Even though some say Castillo honestly won that fight, he ran it back and he dominated him the second time.
Excellent.
And he was young at that point. He was 24 years old. So
and he was
anybody
21.
saying Floyd was dodging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anybody saying Floyd is ducking is just lying to themselves, honestly.
And it's personal.
The one guy they say they bring up is Margarito, but come on, really?
Yeah. Well, Margarito turned out to be a cheat, and you know,
exactly.
People have damn near removed. People removed him from the history books of boxing, if you really think about it. But once again, you know,
the same.
The
same way that Takoto, you know, Takoto's, you know, face into his bone structure. I'm sure it had a long effect on it.
I mean, once again, you know, they say they call Sugar Ray Robinson the greatest fighter of all time. And there are a lot of fighters that he was accused of ducking, but because social media was obviously not around like it is today, can you imagine how many people they would be saying? I mean, because we already know by the history books, he ducked Charles Burley, and he ducked a lot of fighters on the Black Murderers row. But once again, they still call him the greatest fighter of all time. So it's not so much of who you accusing a fighter of ducking. We can accuse any fighter of ducking someone. It's how many times you won the Super Bowl, how many times you won the big fights. And that's what it comes down to. And speaking of his age, he was 21 when he beat Janelle Hernandez. You know what I mean? And Janelle Hernandez is a champion that the majority of a lot of the champions would struggle against today. You know, he was tall, he was lanky, and he was the number one fighter at 130. And he was the favorite to beat Floyd Mayweather. People don't talk about that either, man. So, hey, man.
Right.
So, but good stuff, man. Anything else on your mind, man?
You got it. Oh, I'm sorry?
I said anything else on your mind?
Oh, yes. My favorite guy is Rigo. I feel bad. He's kind of getting old. I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little worried. He's, ring rust, all these things. You know, I don't know anything about this guy Flores coming up, but I think you made a video about being worried about that. So I'm, obviously, he's getting old now, but real quick, something he doesn't get credit for, Rigo. Everyone's talking about, Lomachenko, Rigo. I don't like that fight for Rigo at all now. Now, seeing that Lomachenko could probably deal with guys at 135, I think it's a smart move. To try to make that.
That's true. That's true. They both got, same skill set, but I don't know. I will favor Rigo. You said the weight difference. If Rigo and Loma was the same size as far as like physical, then I pick Rigo all day. But because of the fact that Lomachenko, he's fighting at 130 and he's big at 130. It's not like he's one of these small guys at 130. And Rigondeaux's one of the small guys at 122.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's a huge disadvantage for Rigo. But that's just how good Rigo is. He has that huge of a disadvantage, and people still giving him a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how you know a guy is really talented.
Yeah.
But, speaking of Rigo, I hate the fact that his fight got postponed because of the Cotto fight.
Yeah.
Only a month though.
Because
he haven't fought in a while. You know what I mean? Ring rust is killing him, and age with his age. Plus, I heard that you're Cuban, so you probably know, but I heard that when he first came here, he kind of gave the wrong age, so he's actually older than what he is. You know what I mean? Like
that's
on paper.
Yeah, with a lot of the baseball players and boxers, there's a chance that they, they kind of. But the records, the records don't, they're actually really easy to get. Like birth certificates, it's not the same as other countries, but sometimes they'll knowingly change it to get an advantage or get paid more, which is they're right. You know what I mean? They're coming over here as immigrants. Why not? Mm-hmm. But Rigo doesn't get credit for enough credit. I think for being the smaller guy. If you watch the Broner fight, man, it's like a wolf versus a dog in size. He's such a smaller guy.
Yeah.
And now they want him to go. So it's like Rigo has to basically go up to 154 to impress anybody. You got to go up and beat Golovkin to be recognized. Like he already did the super fight thing. He already went up to 118 was his best. He seemed like his best. Best weight. 122. We saw him against
Broner,
the Japanese guy Yamagata.
Oh yeah, Amagaza, who was like 6 foot tall.
And again, 5'11", 145 pounds in the ring. That guy was my height. I have a picture of my brother who's 3 inches shorter than me with Guillermo drinking. Guillermo's man. Guillermo smokes cigarettes, drinks beer. That guy's out of control. I can't believe that.
Rigo smokes cigarettes?
Smokes Marlboro Red.
He actually does
what?
He smoked Marlboro Red.
He smoked at least a pack of Marlboro. This guy's a chimney.
Wow.
But I have a picture with him and my brother. My brother's like a small guy next to me, and he looks like a child next to my brother. So this guy, man,
breaking jawbones.
Putting him in uncompromising positions where he has to. He's always in an unfavorable position, and it's a shame because he's so talented, and he's really like an all-time great amateur, and he's a really great professional.
Right.
It's really unfortunate how they're not really giving him a fair shake.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. The thing with the Cuban fighters, they can't go to. They can go to Britain, but there's not much culture there for them in terms of food and the community. So where the people would love them, maybe in Japan or in Britain. It's just not a. You could imagine. Going somewhere where they don't have your type of food, your type of people, your type of women, whatever it is.
It's just from a cultural standpoint.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't. Absolutely.
From the past 25 years, Rigondeaux probably is the most unfairly treated fighter.
Oh yeah.
In the past 25 years.
It's gotta be.
I've never seen guy get untreated like that with the talent he has. A guy smokes cigarettes. And he dominated elite fighters. Come on, man.
Like I
didn't know that.
I'm a peaceful guy. I'm a pretty
saying that he's unwatchable. That's ridiculous.
If I ever see, I'm a peaceful guy. If I ever see Jim Lampley in the street, I'll spit on him. I swear, I hate that guy.
and that's
that guy.
And it's so funny you just brought that up because right before you said, Jim Lampley's name right now, I was just about to say, if it wasn't for people like Jim Lampley and Dan Raphael's and all that kind of stuff. Once again,
that guy's got me blocked on Twitter. I'm glad.
Oh, he got I hear he got everybody blocked on Twitter. I didn't have
call him the Grand Wizard.
I mean, I'm not really on Twitter. I mean, my videos automatically get uploaded. Oh, he is a Grand Wizard of the decals, no doubt about it. Him and Dan Raphael. But yeah, as soon as you oppose anything they say, I know some of my buddies, top media members, they told me, they said, oh yeah, that dude, I said this and he blocked me, man. He blocked me. He blocked Rigo. He's blocked Guillermo Rigondeaux.
I thought he did.
He blocked Guillermo Rigondeaux on his Twitter. And you know why he does that? So he can continue to shit on his name. You know what I mean? Because he don't want everything. He don't want everything directly being sent to him. So he blocks him so he can continue to talk shit about him. But like I said, these are the people who really mess the sport up. We're supposed to be working together to make the sport bigger, and they are constantly.
Absolutely, that's number one.
Yeah, they're constantly crapping on certain fighters because of their personal agenda.
Yeah.
Which they don't realize you're just hurting the sport.
I still read
personal agenda, and also just to be perfectly honest, it's honestly it's got to be prejudice, because this is a guy. Not only is he black, but he knows he can't defend himself. He doesn't speak English, so he knows he can say whatever, and it's going to take him a few weeks to get the news back to him. It's not like if you say something about Floyd, he might respond the next day in a video or to somebody.
Course. Right.
Another thing, he works for ESPN. He's a journalist. He's supposed to be. He has such an opportunity to show, like you said, casual fans. There's a chance. I had to seek the information to find this stuff out. If I would have just kept my head under the sand, I got friends that only watch Golovkin and Pacquiao. It's terrible. I'm trying to tell them about all these guys, about Spence. They're like, whatever. They only want to see the white guys. They only want to see the So it's annoying.
You say Golovkin and Pacquiao.
and also Lampley.
I ain't gonna lie, they love.
Yeah, and just sorry to cut you guys off. This is my last thing I want to say. Lampley and Kellerman defends. Kellerman's 50-50. Kellerman's all right, but Lampley and Merchant Merchant's done now, but Letterman, all these guys, it's their job to inform the fans. When I learned about football, I mean, obviously playing, but you learn because the announcer's telling you what's happening, why it's happening, how it's happening. When the guy's telling you, oh, this game is boring, what is he talking about? In football, I don't know if you guys are a big football fan. I'm a huge football fan.
I am.
Running the football, it's the way Rigo fights and the way Floyd fights, it's like being the best running power football team. It's the safest way. It's the most guaranteed way to run the clock. If you can get 5 yards per rush, you're going to run the ball every time. There's no doubt about it. Why would you risk throwing an interception? Why would you risk getting knocked out in the fight?
Yeah.
Winning.
I mean, it's
Great
like
analogy.
Doctor said it best, man. It's like at the end of the day, it don't matter. Oh, this guy boring. I don't want to see him versus this guy. It's like the Super Bowl. If you watch the Super Bowl because it's the best two teams who beat everybody, and they, and they fight. They playing against each other to decide who's the best, right? In boxing, same thing. You want to see the best fighters fight each other to know who's the best fighter. It don't matter. Oh, but I don't like how this guy fights. Oh, I don't know. It's who's the best at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And they know that. They know that Rigondeaux is the best. That's why they don't even want to see these fights, because they're like, oh, he's just going to destroy my guy. I don't want to see that.
Right.
And once again,
that's why they hate on him like that.
And think about this. Rigo was criticized the most of his entire career. When he beat Nonito Donaire. His biggest win that wasn't boring. It was the most significant win. That's when he received the most hate. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So that tells you everything you need to know. The very next day you had Bob Arum and you had HBO. Oh, but he's boring. And oh my God, that was such a boring performance. Rigo, who was almost 15 to 20 pounds smaller than Nonito Donaire, was fighting Donaire toe to toe. In the opening minute of the fight, toe to toe exchange initiated by Guillermo Rigo. You know what I mean? To show people, I can give you what you want, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they still called him boring. And let me make one more analogy. When people watch soccer, you could sit over there and watch a soccer game for 2 to 3 hours and may get one goal.
0-0, yep.
Yeah. It'd be 0-0. Neither one of them will score, or maybe there's one goal. No one ever calls it boring.
And it's a great game. It could be a great game if you're a soccer fan.
Absolutely. If you're a soccer fan, it could be a great game. But just looking into that, it proves and it shows that it has nothing to do with boring. Once again, these are code words. You can't, it's not politically correct to say, I don't like that black bastard. You know what I mean? You can't say that because that ends the conversation. Like, oh, well, we know why you feel that way. But if you could turn it into something else and deflect and say, oh, he's just boring and this and that, it doesn't matter if you like him or not. Can you beat him? That's all that matters. You can't say, oh, I made it all the way to the gold medal match, but I don't want to fight that guy for the gold medal because he's boring. You're not going to say that. You still have to beat him if you want to win. If you want to win the gold medal, so that's what it really comes down to. But bro, thank you for your call, man. And I really mean this when I say this, man. I really appreciate it when you guys, call in and you guys acknowledge the double standards, because this is what we need. We need to come together and push awareness. You know what I mean? It doesn't just need to come from me. It needs to come from, cats like you, my man from Cuba, and cats from the UK, and everyone of all different colors and nationalities. That's how you really shine a light on it.
If you ignore it, you're just lying to yourself.
You're part of the problem.
If I'm a white Cuban, I have black people in my family, but I'm white. I'm fair skinned, and everyone who's white, who's been in a room at one point in their whole life has heard coded terms. Everybody say, "Oh, this guy, that guy." It still happens today. You hear it not only in boxing, but in football and basketball. At the All-Star. Actually, it's funny. We're talking about this at the All-Star game yesterday, the NBA All-Star game. Marv Albert. The only thing he's talking about is, there's no defense, Like, bro, it's a fucking All-Star game.
I know.
Talk about the players. This is the best show on earth. It's 100, 200, it's 190 to 180. The guy was crying the whole day about, it's like, come on, man. Just stuff like that. And the way that, but I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man.
My name is Mike. I'm from Jersey, but
okay.
All right, Mike.
I'm trying to call in. I usually, you got it, guys.
All right, take care, brother. All right, man.
Appreciate it, man.
My man Mike from Jersey, man, speaking that truth, man. And that's why we do this, Milt. That's why we do this. Man. Everybody know this is the reason why we do it. We going to push that word out there. We going to speak the truth. You ain't going to shut us up. You ain't going to intimidate us from speaking the truth or whatever it is. I don't care what you call me in the comment section or whatever. You're going to keep getting that truth. And this is the reason why they keep tuning in.
And I know,
because they may not want to hear it
in boxing, but I will tell you this, man. Up until it's gotten slightly better for black quarterbacks in the NFL. But I'll tell you, in the NFL, man, there is no way in the world that someone else of another race could have done what Dak Prescott did at quarterback this season as a rookie, winning 13 games, going 13-3, and throwing 3 touchdowns in the first playoff game. Let me tell you, man. They'd be all over this dude. There's no way in the world. But they were giving all the credit to the offensive line. They were giving all the credit to the running back. The defense was better. Everything in the world except for this young man. Yeah.
And I don't even watch a whole lot of football, man. So, but that just goes. No, I'm glad you're bringing that up, though, because
that was prime example, man, of how it goes in sports.
And proves that it obviously goes way beyond boxing.
It goes beyond boxing.
If it's happening in the real world, then it's obviously happening in all the sports, I mean, yeah, man, that's what it is, man. And once again, they try to, because even the people that are a part of, doing this kind of stuff, they know that it has something to do with race, but when you expose it as what it is, that's when they try to shut you up. They don't disagree with you, you notice. They never disagree with you. They just be like, don't, stop race baiting and using these code words, which really just means shut the hell up. We know you telling the truth, but shut the hell up.
Right.
Because once again, this is what the KKK used to do back in the day. They ride to your house and they say, if you don't shut that up, you know what I'm saying, we going to come back and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So go ahead, Milt.
No, but I won't paint all of those people with a broad brush.
No, it's not all of them.
It's not
all
of them.
We're talking about the ones that do it, specifically.
But we know who you are. And they know who they are.
And the people who don't say anything about it are just as guilty.
Yeah, I will say that.
So even the ones, like you said, we're not saying all of them are like that.
Right.
But even the people who know they're not like that, you're supposed to separate yourself, from the ones. You're supposed to separate yourself from them.
Right.
From that ignorance. You know what I mean? And if you're not doing that, you're part of the problem. Just like the Black Lives Matter, the Blue Lives Matter, and all that kind of stuff. When people say stuff like, well, all cops are not bad. You guys are trying to make it seem like all cops are bad. But if that's the case, why don't the good cops come out and say, hey, man, we denouncing this.
Right.
We don't subscribe to this kind of stuff, and this needs to stop. Why the good cops are not doing that? You know what I'm saying? So, that's cold words, man. Cold words. Don't just defend the good cops. Let the good cops come out and defend themselves.
Hey, man, we know
and separate themselves. So anyway, we about to, you know what? Let's just take a bonus call, man. We're going to take one more call, man, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's almost been 2 hours. So 818. What's going on, 818?
Yo, what up?
That's Cali. That sounds like you down the street from where I was. Where you at, man?
Yeah, I'm actually in Granada. I'm like very close to Pullman's gym. You know what I mean? Shout out to Daryl Washington. He's a homie. He's about to fight for the world title this weekend.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was just about to give a rundown.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say about that earlier decaf. Another thing I don't like is people discredit MMA. Like, yo, I box, but I started with kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. Like, all combat sports are cool. Even Muay Thai, like, check out Glory. All those combat sports are good, and they all implicate something different. So it's like, I don't like when people say, oh, UFC is corny. That's not corny. That's actually like the hardest version of combat sports. So it's like, I don't like when people say that shit. So.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Well, hey, everybody entitled to theirs. So that's what I was just saying, man. We don't like to paint everybody with a broad brush. Some people like MMA, some people like boxing, but it's just a matter of style. It's a matter of taste. Whatever you like. Sometimes some people don't like a defensive boxing style, and some people prefer more of an offensive boxing style. Somebody coming off that front foot, somebody that doesn't, counterpunch or trade, but just stand toe to toe. Hey, I understand.
Yeah, because first thing you learn in any combat sport, like dude said, hit and don't get hit. Learn how to move. Learn how to use your pivots. Learn how to use your hands and your feet to land punches and not get hit, not get kicked, not get taken down.
Right.
These are basic concepts of combat. To say that someone's running, it's like he's clearly never fought. You've never been hit in the face.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you might want to move out the way.
That's real talk. That's real. But yeah, you're right. Like you said, they've never been hit in the face, and once again, it's a combination of cold words as well. But that's
because Ricky Diaz is also one of my favorite fighters, and the way he's been treated is disgusting. And on top of that, the way even Ward has been treated, Ward should be a star right now. What he's done is unprecedented. Like when you say who has a better record than Floyd Mayweather, I'd say to this point of the career, only person I can think of is Ward.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
for
that's
him not
true.
to get the love that he
That's a good point.
should get by now. Like, I don't care how close that fight with Kovalev was, regardless if you thought he won or lost. Just like regardless if you thought Mayweather beat Castillo in the first fight or not, it's like they're probably going to fight again. So it's like what he's already done is for him not to be treated the way Golovkin and Canelo are treated. It's just appalling. It's like what Canelo has done is basically got gifted wins. Like, he didn't beat Laura. He hit Laura more times below the belt than Abner Maris hit and Beckel below the belt, and didn't get called for it.
and didn't land no headshots.
Right.
How you win a fight without landing headshots?
Landed was that good uppercut. He landed that good uppercut that cut him in the eye. That was it.
Yeah.
He got hit a few times with that straight left and was like, oh, let me box. Let me avoid these punches.
Yeah.
You didn't win that fight, so it's like,
yeah. No.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't like the way people are treated. Because coming up, like, I came up with Pretty Boy Floyd. I came up with Alexis Arguello because I'm from Nicaragua. I came up with Tyson, and boxing wasn't treated like this back then. Like, at least maybe in a nostalgic way. Like, I didn't see like so much hatred towards certain fighters. But like, the older I got, the more I see it's like all these great fighters just get shitted on when like all these other fighters, they just got bigger names and are more marketable for whatever reason.
It's all about the marketing.
For everybody.
You said it right.
Yeah, because if you look at
it's about the
UK,
marketing.
Look at how UK treats their fighters.
Yeah.
I love how they treat their fighters.
Yeah.
Anybody gets love out there.
Like real boxing
no matter
fans.
what you are,
Can you imagine how big?
Come on, you.
Yeah, you can imagine how big. Like you said, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. You know how big Deontay Wilder.
Oh.
You know how big these cats would be in the UK, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it would be huge, man. But hey, brother,
It's arguable America has the worst boxing fans or the worst appreciation.
Yeah.
Other nations around
And a lot of and the least knowledgeable on the sport too.
I mean, think about this.
What?
Go ahead.
I wanted to say, I wonder if you guys ever brought up this analogy of Abel Sanchez and Golovkin, because Golovkin reminds me a lot of Yuri Boykantis, who's one of Abel Sanchez's earlier fighters.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good knockout artist.
You're able. Oh, I remember. I never knew Abel trained him though. That's interesting. Did Abel train him?
I'm pretty, because like Trinidad is one of my favorite fighters, and I always watched his fight with him in Trinidad. That was the first time he actually stepped up and got knocked out. And I'm pretty sure Abel Sanchez was his trainer.
Yeah, I'll have to ask.
That's what Golovkin reminds me of.
Yeah, you know.
So I was always wondering, like, if you guys ever brought that up. You know?
No, that's a good.
It was something I always saw.
It's a good point, man. You know, once again, I'll really tell you who he reminds me of after I watched this Danny Jacobs fight. I mean, you know, the thing is, after watching Golovkin against Kell Brook, once again, clearly he showed that he's not comfortable with slick fighters, with speed and timing, et cetera, et cetera. And that was the first time he fought that type of fighter, but it was a welterweight. It wasn't a junior middleweight or a middleweight even, I should say. You know, so it'll be interesting, man. I don't think he could take as many punches, though. I don't think he could take as many punches as a Yuri Boykantis. You know, I hear some people saying that Golovkin has a great chin. You can't say he has a great chin because we haven't really seen him get hit. I mean, don't get. It's one thing to get hit with three or four big bombs. That's one thing, but to just get caught throughout the whole night, like Canelo was doing like Margarito was doing when he fought against Cotto the first time, just walking through hellacious bombs. That's a chin. You know what I mean? But we don't know. We don't really know how good Golovkin takes a punch until we see him in a war with a guy who has the type of power that he has, you know. But
on top of that, Danny Jacobs actually has a better resume than him. Him beating Peter Quinlan alone.
Yeah, that's the best. I agree. I agree.
Than anybody.
I agree.
On top of that, Danny Jacobs has a cancer story, how he defeated cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is he not a bigger star? He's fought on free TV. He's fought in front of more fans.
Well,
he's a man of movie.
Yeah, well he'll be bigger.
How is he the B side? How is he not the A side?
Well,
in any other logical world, he would be the A side. He beat the better fighters. He has a better story.
But you know what? That's a good point. But that's a really good point you're making, because I started to say, well, there's no way you can be, you know, the A side over Golovkin. But that just goes to show you how America completely brainwashes us, you know, to believe in that because this dude is loved and because they say he's the big star and all that kind of stuff, he's the A side. It's almost hard for people to even imagine Danny Jacobs being the A side. But you're right. If we didn't live in a country like this where the double standards was so thick, then you're right. It would seem that Danny Jacobs will possibly be the A side, or at least, you know, be the A1, A2, you know what I'm saying? Where it would be closer instead of, you know, it looking like it's just one big star going up against.
Did we ever figure out what the money was on that one? What was the split? Yeah.
You know what? I don't think they really released or announced that. I'm thinking it's something like 70-30. I think, you know, or
Golovkin should be heavily favored.
Yeah, Golovkin is Golovkin. Oh no, we're not talking about the odds. We're talking about the purse.
The purse split. The purse split. Because you know they had put it up. It was supposed to be going to purse bid, and they renegotiated and they say, hey, okay, and they finally came to an agreement, because what the mandatory purse split was supposed to be was 75-25.
It's 75-25, and then they
negotiated, but I don't know what they came up with.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out. But hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We've been at it for 2 hours. My man Milton and us got to get out the studio, man.
We gotta get out of
We've been
here.
up here pretty late. So
just want to make sure y'all check out Deontay Wilder, Gerald Washington, Tony Harrison, Jared Hurd, Dominique Brazil.
All on the same
is
card.
on the card. Caleb Plant on that card. It's going to be a good fight good weekend for fights this weekend coming up.
Absolutely. That's my man, Big Milt. And once again, man, subscribe to A-Rap King on YouTube. And y'all already know my man, check out his articles on the website, boxinginsider.com. And one more thing to note, man, we definitely going to get those shirts. I know I've been saying it for a minute because like I said, we sold out. We sold out a whole bunch. We have 400 and they all sold out. That's when I realized, man, we got to keep this thing going. So I got a little connect where I can start getting more shirts done, you know, at a faster time. So close to the end of the month, We should have some more on the website. Go ahead, y'all. Show your support. That's a great way to show your support. This is my full-time hustle, so you guys could buy the shirts, buy the hats, or you could just donate. The information is in the description box. You could donate to my PayPal if you want more content like this. If you want to see me traveling, to all of these spots and covering these fights, that's a great way to help this keep moving. The documentary, man, #1 in the nation, still working on it. You got to understand, man, when you're trying to perfect something and get that shit down to a T, it got to be right and tight.
Got to be right.
So, once again, give me another, month or so. I don't know. It may just be on YouTube, or I may try to sell it and try to get it on TV or something. But, one way or the other, it's going to be out. All right. So that's all we got, guys. We on to the next one. We'll see y'all next week. All right, y'all?
Peace.
Deuces, y'all.